from? Where is he from?
I don't know where he's from. I don't
How,
know.
how long did he say he was dealing with them?
I believe it was over 8 years.
Oh my God! So 8 years, he ain't used nothing.
Well,
Oh,
he probably remember Diddy didn't want him to, allegedly.
okay. So how is he gonna prove that he caught whatever from them? He ain't have it already.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, maybe some of these things will come out if it actually does go to court, or even if it gets to the discovery phase. But just considering that maybe because he used it with other clients, maybe he generally, and I mean, it's probable because remember, when we were in the courtroom, there was a little back rumor that they didn't want Cassie's medical records to come out because it would have disclosed that they had some stuff. Hey, D Dot, how you doing? Yeah.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So he's talking. He interviewed with Tasha K. He also interviewed with academics, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yep. He's making his rounds now, and he dealt with that. He said he dealt with them for. It came out in court that he dealt with them for a while. I believe I forget what his name is, but I believe they may have brought him up. Did they bring him up in the trial though? I don't know.
No, they mentioned all well, they mentioned about 10 workers, but all of them didn't testify. Now, what they're saying is that about 3 or 4 other, now remember, they could have brought all 8 or 9 of those escorts up there, but apparently from what I'm just kind of going off, I didn't take notes right before we started this, but basically what he was saying is that it's about 4 of the escorts that were going to say Cassie enjoyed it. And it's hard to say what somebody's enjoying, because when you watch a porn movie or whatever, that's their job to act like they're liking it and stuff. But whatever the issue was, there were going to be people in favor of Diddy, and they weren't going to get the result that they wanted.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured that. Okay. So we'll see. He officially filed this paperwork. Yeah. He already filed it. So right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see where it heads. So that's one more lawsuit that he has to fight now.
So I
And
think
then
he had a
the
book out
interesting
as
part
well.
is him and Cassie are named in it. So it's going to be interesting to see how her lawyer navigate around this, or maybe they could settle out with him. What do you think?
Well, it's interesting because he's coming for both of them. And you know what I think in terms of, I know you say you don't like to talk about karma, but it's crazy because well, let me not say I promise you, but I feel like Cassie, after this lawsuit, shout out to her for coming out, big ups for the victims and everything. But I bet you it's almost like a chess move. When you did this, you didn't expect for the feds to get involved, and now it's backfiring yet again because this person is suing you and him. And we see the results of, they both testified that you guys caught these people. And if he was found to be guilty of engaging in the P word, like, then there's some liability for him and her as well, because they've already proven that in court. And isn't the burden less to prove in civil court, right?
Right. Yeah, it's the
So,
preponderance of evidence. Is it likely to be true? Like, for example, if the scales tilt just a little bit in his favor as opposed to their favor, he will win. Hey, how you doing? Good.
yeah.
So if it tilts just a little bit in his favor, he will win the case.
Yeah, because they've already gone through a court case. There were findings of guilt. There were admissions of guilt from the Cassie, the witness. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know
is
how
it
many
likely to be
millions
true?
he can collect, but yeah, it's crazy. Cassie karma catching up with her. It is. It's unfortunate because I do see her as a victim. However, I guess these chess moves, like, I always say you never know if you take one action what the next reaction is going to be.
Well, here's the thing, right? What happens if other entertainers come out and sue?
That's a
That's
possibility.
that's a possibility. Like if he's coming out, they like, well, they subjected me to, because you remember the Punisher said he didn't realize that they had other people, because he said that when he told her he was out with his girlfriend, I think he said he was at Six Flags in New Jersey, and he was out with his girlfriend, and she was like, "Do you know anybody else?" Because he couldn't make it. He said he was like kind of butthurt by it. That's his words. He said he was butthurt by it. Like he
Cause
thought
it,
he was the only one they were engaging in,
right. He thought he
and
was kind of special.
yeah, he thought he was kind of special. So what happens if he sued? Like, man, what do they subject me to? You
I
know,
mean,
pain and suffering.
I feel like, with this Cassie situation, she's kind of set the blueprint. Because
Hmm.
now they can go after both of them. And all of these people could allegedly see. Here's the thing: people want to act one way when it comes to Cassie. They're saying, oh, she was the victim. Just because these men weren't maybe hit by Diddy, they were still part of this whole circle. So, and they set it up. So, why are they not victims too, like Cassie was?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This,
like why can't they be victims? But here's the interesting thing is they're victims now. This is kind of like not alleged anymore because it already came out that that they engaged with these people. So if he was one of them, it's not alleged. So they did engage with him, and I could see this settling out of court. Celebrity.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. At this point, Cassie, you know what? Cassie's gonna might have to get up off some millions though, but she can make it back because she can still write her book.
Um, no, I don't know if she could still write her book. No,
You don't think
because
so?
she,
Oh,
I think it was a gag order on that. That was like maybe part of the settlement for her to get that money that she can't write the book on him. No, that's different. I don't know if she can write that book on him now because he can turn around and try to sue her now. Did he?
hey, AT2. Yeah, you're right. Because she did sign. So there was probably a non-disclosure agreement as part of the settlement. However, that would be overwritten when the feds come in. But then she couldn't write a book. So yeah, you're right. Because that
Yeah,
was part of the settlement. That's how she got the money.
I
Don't
believe
write the
so.
book. Yeah,
But
you're
it
right.
didn't. Yeah, it didn't exempt her from taking a stand.
Exactly.
But
Yeah, because
writing a
it
book
would
is
have.
something different.
Right, for profit and all of that stuff. And plus, if there was a crime in commission, then the NDA wouldn't bar her from being able to speak about it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
It's a mess.
this is a mess.
I
It's a mess because now the case is over. It's okay, yeah, it's over. So it's not alleged anymore. It came out in court and she testified that she engaged. Remember they showed all the men pictures?
yes.
What if all the men come out with a lawsuit?
I mean,
This is a mess.
if I were a practicing attorney, I would be an ambulance chaser. Busby better go get them guys. And if he wants his money, yeah, those are quick lawsuits. Half of the testimony is already on record. We got the
Don't he already have?
transcripts.
Who is his attorney?
I believe his attorney was Blackburn. I don't know who his attorney is now.
Okay, so yeah, I could see him getting an attorney or upgrading his attorney and trying to go for something. I'm not saying he's going to get anything, but it's an interesting situation because when we were sitting there in court, I said, I wonder after it's all said and done, would these guys come out and sue both of them? And here we go.
You know what, Max? You were forward thinking because I didn't even think of that. I never even thought past, what was happening with Cassie and Diddy. But now that this guy has entered the building, they're going to be the same way she went out, the same way all of those people went after Diddy. Hell, I'm about to sue him.
Yeah, I
Second
would
party,
jump. I would.
something. We gonna
I
find a
mean,
way. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Everybody's gonna come out the woodworks against them.
no disrespect to Cassie or Diddy, but I was like, damn, if he's suing, I might have to sue some pain and suffering.
Yeah. Max, we got to sit through because we had to sit through all of that disgusting testimony. Okay.
I would
If,
say this. I would say, look, I was like, yeah, I'm putting my hat in. I'm willing to settle out, sis. You know what I'm saying, bro and sis. I'm willing to settle out. You know, make a brother whole. See, I'm
listen,
not gonna say I want justice. Make me whole. Well, how are they gonna make you whole, Max? With some Benjamins.
to Queen V's point, the husband's going to leave next. Max talked about touched on him spending some of her money. So I'll let him
Well,
talk about that. But I do believe that there's going to be some cracks in this marriage. I think that there's some things that came out during her testimony that he had no idea about.
well, what I'm gonna say about this for that whole thing, the website I read it on is not reputable.
Okay.
It's kind of like a clickbait website, so it's not reputable. And he does
Okay.
act or something like that. I think he's making his own money. He's on the
Yeah,
show or something.
but I mean, at this point, after a 30 million, well, let's just say this. If they didn't have money before this Diddy trial, whatever he was doing wasn't really, paying the bills like that because they was living at her parents' house. But now I think probably more opportunities have come, but they got their $30 million net. So, you
Yeah,
know,
she was made whole. 30 million. Um, yeah, so yeah, they're gonna come out and they're gonna want some change. He's the first one. I suspect it's gonna be more people. And by the way,
absolutely.
Jonathan Audi is still alive.
Yeah, I know.
I know it
Yeah.
had came out a long time ago that he wasn't, but he is. He's locked up.
Yes. Yeah, they found I think people ended up proving that he was still alive and everything. Yeah, that information came out. Queen V is saying that Cassie is a D addict, but I think she went and got clean though, Queen. That's
Yeah,
what she testified.
yeah, that came out in the testimony. She got clean. Yep, she cleaned up. And I think, did you see the Carlucci interview on Secret Service Sam?
I saw a little bit. I didn't watch the whole thing. What was he talking about?
He said Diddy was going to do the same thing. He want to like, clean himself up, do some rehab and stuff like that. Put himself on a program. You know what I mean? That's something he want to
Mm.
do on his own. Yeah, that's something he want to do on his own. Put himself on a program
I
and
mean,
go another way.
after you've been in jail or prison for so long, aren't you already rehab? Like I know I heard you can get drugs, the pharmaceuticals inside, but don't you think he's clean by now?
Yeah, he looks good. He don't look like he's on anything. He looks
Yeah.
normal. Yeah, he looks normal. He looks good. I mean, I couldn't tell before, but since all that stuff came out, but he looks okay though. Yeah, he definitely look okay. Um, yeah, I didn't see him tweaking or anything. He looks fine. Only thing is with him is he just have gray hair. That's it. But he looks the same. He looks good.
Yeah. It
He's in
may
good
be
shape.
that he lost
And I
weight,
noticed when he gets up out of the chair, he gets up really fast.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that, but okay. Queen B says it's not the same though. He needs treatment.
He did say that. He did say treatment. That's what, well, he didn't say it. Charlucci said it. That's what he want to do. So he probably in his mind, he's a different person now. Definitely he is. He don't sat for 10 months with nothing going on. He's a different person. He's not the same person. He said, Charlucci said, he was looking back at him in court, during the breaks.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yo, I did all that. I did this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was like, what the, like, what? He said, remember he
Wow.
was like, he kind of said, he was kind of liking him like, like your drunk uncle in the family. Like, he don't remember what he did the next day.
That's believable with the kind of drugs the kind of pharmaceuticals he was on. That
Yeah.
is believable, but that's sad that all of your dirty laundry is in front of the world and you don't even like, what? I did what? Like, that's
But you know
crazy.
what, though? That may have saved
Mm.
his life.
Yeah,
in a crazy kind of way. This case saved his life.
I can see that.
I think so. It saved his life because he was, you know, all the use, he was wilding out, and he not doing that no more. So he probably perfectly okay. So all he do have to do is just reinforce that when he get on the outside, and he should be straight.
You
Keep the
know,
right people around him. He should be straight.
he did say to Cassie at one point, "Wow, we are lucky to still be alive after all we did." He did say that.
Yeah, he did say that. He said we are lucky to be here,
Yeah,
and he not lying. He not lying about that. They partied for a decade.
they did.
They partied for a whole decade,
So
and
you
she
know,
seemed to be doing well.
right now, everybody, well, all of the celebrities are over in the south of France because this is the time that they go over there. And so, you know, if Diddy was out, he would be right over there with them because everybody got their yachts out. This is the time of year that they all go over there and then they just, you know, yacht around to the different islands and everything. I saw
Yeah,
Nicole Murphy posting about it. I'm like, they're having a good time.
yeah, but he can't. He gotta stay away from certain environments, because he could relapse.
That's true.
So he gotta do a complete 360.
It's probably the same for Cassie. She's probably got to be careful because she is a mom, and I'm sure she doesn't want to relapse. You know?
But her being a mother, it helps though. Like
Yeah.
she with her family. She got 3 kids now. Had her
But
first
Matt,
son.
but if you have a propensity to be on, we have a lot of mothers that, unfortunately, if they have had a history of using pharmaceuticals to the level she has, I'm sure it's hard for her. The amount of years and everything. I mean, we see it all the time that they still go back and use. So I still think that she might still have a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, but hey, gotta overcome it.
But
Gotta
Max,
overcome it.
but think about it. Even allegedly, per um, you know, the bodyguard Gene, he even said KP Kim Porter was on pharmaceuticals too, and she was a mother. So unfortunately, being a mom doesn't necessarily always help you with that particular struggle. And now I think, like Queen Bee is saying, especially now that she's stressed out, this is coming. Like they thought they had a quick payday, but it's turning out to be more of
Yeah,
a issue than they probably anticipated. You cannot make me believe that they thought the feds were going to come and then they were going to get an additional lawsuit. Because if they thought all of and it's not over yet.
right. Nope, it's not over yet. Yeah, it's definitely not over. It's these lawsuits. I believe they're gonna keep coming.
Okay, now if they've amassed close to like 30, well, no, they didn't net 30 million because we talked about taxes and everything. How much of that do you think they're going to lose?
Well, we don't know yet, but out of the 30 million, she probably took home like, because the lawyers get their piece of the pie, and she didn't take home quite 30 million though, but
No.
she got a nice little payday. Put it that way.
But if she's being pulled into these lawsuits, let's even look at it like this. Even AT2 said that money she got it came with a price, and it's still, you know, it's still taking a toll on them because even let's say this case is thrown out or whatever, which it probably won't be, but let's just say she still has to pay the retainer for the attorney to even protect the assets that they have. You still got to secure an attorney. Then you got
Right,
to worry about the other people that are coming against you. It's a lot.
right, right. Because it could be more, like I said, and that that's dishing out money. Ain't no telling how much he's asking for. Did he say how much he asking for?
If anybody in the chat, can you guys drop it in the chat? Because honestly, I don't remember. I just remember it's a
I'd be
lot.
like, I want 20 million.
But if they gave him something, if there's a STD attached to it, that's gonna be uh another issue. And then if he's able to prove that they have it, that's a problem. Because now you got the STD, you got he's accusing them of trafficking. I mean, this is crazy.
Did you hear when he was interviewing with Tasha, how he was describing one incident, saying
Which
that,
one?
he kept putting his butt in his face?
No.
Oh man, you didn't hear that?
What happened?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna bring it up. I gotta let you hear it.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
see. Yeah, I gotta let you hear it. It was kind of crazy.
For sure, Queen V, Pandora's box. You ain't lying.
Yeah, let me go to Tasha K. Let's see, Instagram. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Let's see. Tasha K. Okay, here we go. Eating out her vagina, shifting his anus in my view. All of a sudden, he jumps up and he starts to act like he's, going to eat a vagina, which he never did. And he buries his face in her vagina. While he's doing it, he tells me to keep masturbating so she can watch. Okay, no problem. So now I'm watching her masturbate, but he's eating out her vagina, shifting his anus in my view. So it's distracting me because I can't see her vagina. I can see his anus. So I'm like, what the hell is this? So I'm gonna let you finish your spin. Okay, go ahead. So I see what he's doing, and at first I didn't realize what he was doing. I just got annoyed, so I moved to another side of the bed. I believe I moved to the right just so I would be at an angle to see past him. He waits maybe 2 seconds. He scoots his ass back in front of my view. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? So I'm getting mad. I'm like, what is this guy doing? So I move back to the left side of the bed. Sure enough, a couple of seconds later, he does it again. Finally, I said, yo, what's wrong with you, man? You blocking my view with your ass. Can you stop? And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. He got up, he gets back in the seat like he's going to start his voyeurism again watching, and he tells us we can go ahead. And she starts laughing at me. She's like, yo, you got to go. I'm like, I got to go. Why? And she's like, yo, you got to go. I'll see you later. She's like, yo, you passed though. And I said, I passed. What do you mean I passed? She was like, yo, pass. She gives me a big hug. I didn't really know what she was talking about until probably later that night when I thought about it. Why is he doing that? Because he was trying to entice me to make me think that his asshole was the same as her vagina. And he was hoping that I might have been high and did it. Okay. So you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. Like I said, guys, this is just alleged. So I don't know if this is the case or not. We have to say allegedly because, like this, obviously they haven't been found guilty in civil court on nothing like this. And I didn't hear that part of the testimony come up in his trial. I didn't hear that. I just heard that he was a voyeur. So that story didn't come up. So, like I said, I don't know what to believe there. So I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't know.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. Now, Queen V said DJ Vlad interviewed another male entertainer, which other male entertainers, which all say she wanted it.
Yeah. There was about 4. I'm hearing there was 4. And the prosecution side was aware of it because other content creators talked about it. So, and they were saying they were lying and all this. But it's like, why are we to believe only Cassie, but we can't believe the other people involved, right?
Right.
Yeah. That's why I don't put any credence in what they're saying. The prosecution had a narrative. They did.
Yeah, he didn't have anything flattering to say. Wait, you said the escort did not have anything flattering to say about Tisa Tales? Really? He mentioned her?
Well,
What she
Tisa
got
had
to do
talked
with
about
it?
him first. Tisa had came out a few weeks ago and was saying that there was going to be a escort that was going to come out with lies, lies, lies. Yeah, she talked about it. So
Okay,
and I believe
lies.
it was
Okay.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Why can't we give him the benefit of the doubt and we gave her the benefit of the doubt? Because he a male. See, this is what I was saying earlier. I never uploaded the video, but the video that I was gonna upload, I was gonna say that it's a psychological thing. Like, let's say if you got two people accused of the same crime, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they look different. One is more attractive to you. You may have more sympathy for that person than another person based on how they look. It's just psychology. Let me give you an example in history. You remember Ted Bundy, the serial killer?
Yes.
Okay, Ted Bundy, the serial killer, he had women showing up in court at his trial wanting to date him. They had fell in love with him. They said he was so handsome. Like for me, he had a water head. He's a big head, but I'm a
Right.
heterosexual male, so I'm not gonna find him attractive. But they were lined up in court, sitting in the front row, just to get his attention because they said he was so handsome. Now, if that was Bookman sitting in his place, them women wouldn't have been there.
No.
I say Bookman because that's what other dudes say. They always say Bookman. So if somebody looking like Bookman is sitting in that same spot, do you think the ladies would be sitting there all enamored by him?
No.
No. It's the same with Cassie. Like Cassie, she's beautiful. She looks like the picture of innocence, and people will show her favor. It's just a psychological thing. It's not that they're wrong. It's just it's perception is everything, right? So now that this guy comes out, people really not going to show him favor. They're going to be like, oh, he lying and this didn't happen. Well, in fact, she did admit in trial that she slept with all these guys
Right.
unprotected.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not knocking somebody if they don't show him favor, but I understand from reading this article that was published. It's a published article within the psychology industry. It explains it sometime. Like you might show people favor based on how they look, and also skin color.
Isn't that the same thing that they said happened with Casey Anthony?
Right. Men wanted to date her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And the same thing happened with that other lady that I forget her name right now.
Which one?
It's another lady that unalived her boyfriend at the time.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I know she
She
was
traveled.
from
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah. Traveled
It,
across country, put gasoline in her car so she wouldn't have to stop at the gas stations to be on camera.
yeah, but
And
she
she
got
went there
convicted
and
though.
unalived them. Yeah,
She
she
did
got
get,
convicted.
but Casey Anthony didn't.
But people,
It is a case of pretty privilege for sure.
right. So, like, imagine if a woman was suing Diddy was at the trial and she looked like she had her best days 5 years ago, right? People may
Mm-hmm.
not have showed her favor. The content creators that are went hard on Diddy, they may not have went hard on him. It's a psychological thing.
Shout out to Kid Clientele.
Yeah,
Yes, thank
Jody.
you,
Yep,
Jody
Jody Arias.
Arias.
Thank you,
Yes,
kid.
thank
Clientele.
you.
Yes, Jody Arias. Yes. And look, Jody Arias, to this day, she get men pen pals wanting to be with her.
I'm sure her cash app be ringing off.
Now, I'm sure they do be cash apping her and all types of stuff,
She might have
and fall in love with her messages.
she might have a page, Max. You never know.
Well, she has a way you can contact her, and she respond back to people. But she got so many people responding to her, it's crazy.
Oh wait, AT2 was in the chat. AT2, we used to know RIP, Real Entertainment. He used to do promo, and he knew Jody Arias, and he was an advocate for her. If AT2 is here, he could kind of talk about it. But yeah, he knew Jody. It was crazy.
Who doing?
AT2, not AT2, but the Real Entertainment, who has passed away. I think he used to give her money and stuff.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Kid clientele says Jody Arias is making a lot of money from artwork. Okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
her artwork. Yes.
Mm.
Queen B said women are slicker than folks understand, especially when scoring. Yes, that's why I don't play with women. I don't, and I get a lot of, yeah, I don't play, especially when they're scoring. That's why it's best to have just one. That's it, because they will keep tabs on you. A woman will keep tabs on you, because everything is routine. If you break the routine, they'll make a mental note.
Oh, we know. Listen, we have a mental Rolodex that's better than Chat GPT. Okay,
Yeah, I know. Y'all remember stuff from 5 years ago.
we remember. Listen, you turned just what was that? It was a comedian who said he was right. He had cheated. I think it was I forget which one, but he was like, "You be riding with your girl and you cheated 5 years ago, and you make a wrong turn on the left." And she's like, "Why did you make that left?" "Oh, you was thinking about that B because she lived on the left side of the street." Like, we will bring stuff up just out of the blue
Yep. And
because we
y'all
don't.
and y'all study us. Y'all will study us,
Yes. Oh my God.
and yeah, you guys will study us, and see with me now. Celebrity has spent some time with me for a considerable amount of time. She knows I'm really easygoing, so I can't lie. Like, it's all over my face. I can't. I can't lie, yo. It's all over my face. So I just get caught. I'll get caught just off default. I'll be caught. And women don't know. They know. They're like, okay, he didn't answer his phone. Usually he answers his phone for me, but now all of a sudden he on the call. They remember that. They're like, okay, who you? They ain't gonna say nothing. They ain't gonna say who you on the call with, but they will
Max,
remember.
Max, how do you know? Because we pick up on the slightest thing.
Yeah, I know.
You're absolutely right.
And y'all will test us too.
Give me an
Like,
example of what you think a test will be.
like they'll come over your house and they'll leave something where you can't find it, and only another woman will find it. They'll do something like that. It's really, and a woman has a radar. She's like, oh, what's this? What's this curling iron and blow dry doing here? Well, first of all, that's my curling iron and blow dry that I have for my company. That's
Oh,
mine.
that's a good one.
Yeah, I keep a blow dryer. I have a curling iron. Whatever you need, it's in the house.
Okay, so let me
Okay.
let me cut you off right there, Max. This is the mentality. I'm not using another B. It's for women that you have. I'm not doing this behind another B. How dare you?
See? See what I'm saying? So I'm already in the doghouse. Like, damn. So what do you got all this for? So you used to have all these bitches at the house.
Right.
That's what it is. And yeah.
So you got curling irons for all these chicks that come up in the house, and you think I'm gonna use they curl? I don't know what type of women you've been. What? Now we got an attitude behind that.
Well, I mean, if you need a curling iron, it's right there.
I don't want to use it. I never. You know what? Now I don't want to go. Forget it. I know we was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood. Never mind.
Right. Right. So no, you will find a curling iron in my house. You will find a curling iron. I said, what did he got a curling iron in the bathroom for? I said,
Right.
well, obviously it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's
And
not.
now
Do you need it?
you getting smart now. Now you getting smart.
See, I can't win for nothing.
Right. So now by this time, I done seen a curling iron. I'm on the fence about, do you just have this for other women, or was it that chick that was over here a couple days ago and she left it? Because now I know you lying. You know what? I don't
See?
even want to go. I don't want to go to New York and go to the play. Forget it. Never mind. I'll just go watch some Netflix. I'm not even tripping. Nope. I don't want dinner. Nope. That's
Okay,
okay.
but
I'm
see,
good.
here's the thing. See, I know how to diffuse a situation. All you
Okay.
got to do is say, "All right, we'll talk later." Now, now that'll put me further in the doghouse. If I say we'll talk later, that means that I'm trying to avoid this.
It ain't no winning. Right.
It
Dom
ain't
says,
no winning because
can't
now,
win for nothing.
you wanna get off the phone now. Oh, that's what it is. You want to get off the phone. Like, no, I don't want to argue. Oh, you don't want to argue because you don't want to be straightforward. It's crazy. Women are tough out here these days.
You don't want to argue because you don't want to get caught up in your lies. That's what it is.
No, but I'm being serious. I really do have a curling iron. I really do. And I
Yeah,
really
okay.
do have a blow dryer, and I had a blow dryer that you sit down in. Yep, I had an over the top blow dryer that you sit in. And I remember she was like, "What do you got this for?" I said, "I used to have locks, correct?" She said, "Yeah, you did have locks." I said, "Yeah, I used to do my own hair and I used to sit down in the blow dryer." I had a
Oh,
blow
so
dryer that you sit under.
you good, you good, you good. Okay, you came with it. But listen, oh, thank
Now,
you,
but no, no,
Queen
no.
B.
But
Thank
here's the
you.
thing.
Uh-huh.
I might have came with it, but but what do I need a curling iron for?
But wait a minute, Max. That's good. I'm saying you came with it, but don't worry. Give me about 6 minutes. I got something else for you. We're not even at the curling iron yet, because I'm gonna be ruminating over what you said. Yeah, you had locks, but uh-uh. but the chick that the last did she use it too? Yeah, it's
No,
not gonna
nobody
end there.
used it. Nobody used it.
Well, I'm not gonna buy that. I'm sorry.
See,
I
that's
gotta
the
find
thing. See, that's crazy right there. See, you won't even buy that. I said, "Oh, you know what I would say?
but
Okay, well, since you want to engage, go see if there's some hair in it. Go see."
well, Max, I'm sure you cleaned the hair out. When was the last time the chick was here? I Do you think I'm crazy? I know you cleaned the hair out.
All right, watch this. I got something for that.
What?
Well, an average man ain't gonna be doing all that. Be cleaning the hair out. We don't do that. See, it's a new curling iron, brand new in the box.
Oh wait, so the curling. Okay, so first we was talking about the dryer, but now we on the curling iron that's in the box.
Yeah, it's brand new in the box.
Max, you listen. You ain't bought no curling iron that's brand new in the box. Some chick left this over here. Now you must think I'm stupid.
No, I really do be buying stuff like that,
No, I know,
just in case.
Max.
Just in case.
I know you.
No,
I'm no, but I'm playing the opposite side.
right, but look, just in case you don't need an overnight bag with me, I might have some drawers for you.
See, Glamour W
You
said you
heard me?
use the
You heard
curl.
me? I might have some underwear for you.
Oh hell no! If it's not a pair of
No,
boxers, that's a problem. What?
no, not used. Brand new.
Because that was from the list. All this chick stuff you got at your house was for the last B. Now I'm not stupid. Now if you're not getting it after I enter the picture, then it was for the last one. That's how we think, Max. You should know that. But look.
I know that's how y'all think. That's why I get in. That's why I be sitting up there getting in trouble.
But wait a minute. I think the comment left the screen. So, but the last person said you used a curling iron on your locks. See, she not buying it
Okay,
either.
see now she not buying. See now I'm in the doghouse with her. See that's how y'all roll. See, here's the thing. I can't even answer her. No, I didn't
Nope.
use that on my locks. But
So which
let me tell you what else I have.
what?
I have a silk pillowcase too, so you ain't gotta wrap your hair up. You ain't you
Listen. Okay. Okay.
you ain't even gotta do that either.
But wait a minute. You think I want to sleep on the pillowcase that your last everything that you had with your last chick? We need to burn like in a movie.
Damn. It ain't from that. I got a new silk pillowcase.
Okay. Well,
Because
where's the price? What?
if I get in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now I don't just see that. Now I'm talking too much.
Max, look. Oh, this is a new pillowcase. Show me the Amazon receipt. When did you get it?
Are you really like that?
No, I'm just. I know
Yes,
how.
you
I
are.
know. No,
Yes,
no,
you
no.
are.
Listen,
Yes,
listen.
you are. Because you did
No,
it too well.
no. You know why? Because I know my when I was younger, I know all
Mm.
the things that we would at
You
my age now. I don't. I'm
right.
not. I can't stress that hard. I can't. I don't have the bandwidth. If I gotta feel like it's all of this and that, then I
Right.
just don't belong there. But when you're young, you
Uh-huh.
question everything.
Okay. Um,
Hey, Rachel. See Rachel laughing because she know.
she in the bushes laughing.
Rachel know. You
But
got
see,
a
you
curling
guys,
iron. You got
but see, here's
panties
my
for me.
point.
Hell no.
But no, here go. There go Liz out the
Hey,
bushes now. Now,
Liz.
now Liz don't fell out the bushes. Now look, here's my thing.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I got all this stuff at the house just in case if you need it. Like I got a blow dryer, like the silk pillowcase, so you don't have to wrap your hair up, so you won't get your hair all tangled up. I got head scarves. I got everything you need right here, so you don't need an overnight bag. Hell, I even got some oil.
What kind of oil?
Diddy don't gave me an idea. I don't got me some oil. I got some oil for you.
You got the Astroglide or the baby
So oil it
oil?
on up for you. But
Man.
look, but here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. See, the
Mm-hmm.
way you were questioning me, that's why at my age, I can't deal with more than one woman. Not at my age. Because you see how I'm acting. I can't. I'm getting caught out there left and right. So I can't see. I'm too young. I'm too old to have a stable. I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
rather just have one because one is enough to deal with. Now my friend Liz, she got an old man, right?
Uh-huh.
She's enough to handle with him. I don't know how he do it. She's enough. So if he go out there and try to get a stable, he gonna run himself crazy. He gonna run
Yeah.
himself ragged because he got to deal with. I'm messing with you, Liz, because Liz got a low jack on him.
Oh, she got the thing on the car where
She track his
the
phone.
tracker. Yeah. That's what the
Now
young girls do now. I don't
she's
even
not
know.
young. She's not young.
No,
All
I'm not
y'all
I
do
don't know
that.
her age,
All
but
y'all do that.
I'm saying
All
the
y'all do that.
younger women now do that. That's
I
what the
know, but
younger women do.
all y'all women do that.
I haven't
And
used
here's
the tracker yet,
and let me
Max. I
ask you this.
haven't.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Since we gonna go there, so let me ask you this. You ever went through your old man's phone?
Of course.
See now you out of pocket.
No, Max, listen, you're talking. Okay, what I did back
You out
in
of
the
pocket.
day,
You out of
you,
look at Rachel. Send me your location. See that? Y'all out of pocket.
Queen V said y'all sloppy.
But see, that's what I'm saying to you. At my age, with all this technology, how you gonna lie with all this technology? Because they gonna track your phone. They gonna track your phone, and you ain't been home. You like an hour late, and you didn't check in. You're an hour late. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing when you get to the house. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing. You'll say something 5 days later. That's when you'll say something. It'll be
Oh,
5 days
Max.
later.
No, I can't wait 5 days. I wish I could. I can't now. I don't do the things I did when I was younger because you just as you get more mature, it's like, well, hell, if you done got some sloppy toppy on your way home, did you pay? Did we pay the bills? PG&E is on. This and that. Okay, I ain't got time to trip. But but I can't wait a week to get at you about some ish I done discovered. I can't hold stuff that long.
Wait a minute, Liz. Hold on. Hold on. You said, hey, his lordship. Hey, celebrity. That's his lordship, right? That's my boy right there. They all look. All of y'all in here from the West Coast. All the people I'm cool with, y'all from the West Coast. Ain't that crazy?
Hey,
Y'all all from the West Coast. Y'all look out for me too. Y'all all from the West Coast.
hey, Ryan.
I must say, Ryan from the West Coast. Okay, let me just say this.
Uh huh.
Um, okay, so we can't just slip by this topic. Now let me go back to what because now Liz out of pocket. So she said that's what being in a serious relationship is all about. No, it's not. Going through
Well,
somebody's phone? No, it's not. Not going through nobody's phone. Y'all out of pocket. Now his lordship, uh, you know, listen, that's out of pocket. That y'all out of pocket. I'm sorry. That's if you got to go. Listen, we can't go through y'all phone. So why y'all want to go through ours? Think about it.
okay, Max, can I jump in?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm at the point in my stage in life that I shouldn't have to go through a man's phone. The last person I dated, It was
Right.
sort of like an open thing. I think when we first got together, he gave me the phone. Hey, look through my and it was like, oh, I ain't tripping off the phone. So I stopped tripping off of it. Now, could he have been doing something? Yes, but he just kind of made me feel okay about it, and then it was no longer a thing. Women have a higher propensity, I'm just gonna say, and ladies might get mad at me, because it feels like y'all be doing too much. You be going to the Instagram, liking the OF pictures, all of this extra stuff you guys be doing. And
Right.
so yeah, y'all don't be tripping off of us because often we make you confident enough and love on you guys enough where you ain't really tripping like that. But for us, we have been through some things. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know men get cheated on too, but it's just a little different. Historically, yeah, we are the ones going through the phones. I haven't had to go through a phone in a minute. And and if I feel like I got to do that, then that's probably a problem in the relationship. I don't want to be there no more.
Yeah,
I don't
you
want to
got to
have to
go to
feel
the
that
phone.
way. Huh?
Now, see, I can tell you right now, like my Instagram is my business account. Now, somebody had said to me one time, Max, your Instagram is trifling. And I said, what are you talking about? They said, the people you following,
Oh,
it's trifling. Like, had that ever occurred to you? I said, what are you talking about? They said, why don't you get a new Instagram for your business? Because your Instagram is trifling. Your
wow.
Instagram, they don't went through my followers, okay? They don't went through the followers and they said it's trifling. They said you following all type of booty models.
Okay, Max, let me stop you right there. So if you have a woman, see, y'all sometimes don't look at things from the opposite perspective. There is a level of respect. If you got a woman and she's attractive, she's confident or whatever, because this has come up in some celebrity relationships as well. How do you think your woman is feeling when she goes down your timeline and all the women on your timeline, they these big money O's, and none of them look like her? Like, it's human nature to feel like the women start comparing themselves. I mean, again, once you get to a certain level in age in life, some of that stuff just kind of goes away. But when you're younger and certain things, it's like if you've had a baby and your body ain't as tight or whatever, you don't think we feel a certain way. It's not that you shouldn't look, not that you can't look, but are you thinking about your partner? Some women don't care, some women do. Are you I'm just saying, are you thinking about the other half in this relationship? That's where men get us messed up sometimes. It's just the level in which you do it. If you like in a couple, okay, yeah, he looking, he ain't gonna do nothing. But if that looks like that's all you doing all day, you got about a 1,500 and you done like them in the last week. Well, damn. What was
Okay,
you doing
so
at
all right,
work? What
cool.
was you
Okay,
doing in the
now,
bathroom? What was you doing?
okay, well, here's the thing. Okay, yeah, that's what they said. Somebody said that once. Hey, Max, your Instagram is. My niece said that your Instagram is trifling. I'm like,
See?
what are you talking about? Like, she said your Instagram is 100% trifling. But here's what I'm gonna say. Now, if I got an old lady, I don't need to be looking at I don't need to be looking at the pictures on Instagram. I don't need to be doing all that now. So if I got me an old lady, I'm in her business. So I don't need to be looking at the Instagram. And I don't need to be looking at no adult videos or nothing like that. See, because I'm gonna tell you why. When you start doing that, you mess up your sensitivity.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You mess up your sensitivity, and it's a psychological thing. Like the Punisher was saying, he wrote that book. It's a
Mm-hmm.
psychological. You gotta cut all that out and abstain from everything. You get your sensitivity back. So I don't have to be looking at no booty models. I got one up in the house. I got one right up in the house, and I'm be looking at her. That's it. I don't need to be on Instagram. The only time I need to be on Instagram is to handle business, because I'm a content creator. So that's the only thing. Now, here's another thing, ladies. What I found out was I know somebody, now he's a huge content creator, my boy. He do tech reviews. He's a huge content creator. Now, his woman is not all, shitting on his program or nothing like that. But occasionally women will try to do that. They're not gonna want to be in the dark. They're gonna want you to somehow let everybody know you got a woman. That
Mm-hmm.
happens too.
Mm-hmm.
You said it's a semi reflection on what you may like. See, no, not really. Not really. You got to understand, Instagram is not real. Instagram is not real. I'm never going to see these people. It's not real. I'm interested in what I'm seeing right in front of my face. But I could cut the Instagram out. That I could do. Now, like I said, if she gonna want to sit up there and have my phone and go through my Instagram, it is gonna be trifling. It is. It's gonna be trifling. But I must say though, I don't have no I don't have no booty pictures in my Instagram. I don't have none of that. Like I'm talking about as far as in my inbox. I don't have that. So I'm safe. So I here, go ahead and have the phone and go look through it.
So
You
Max, let
see?
me ask you this. Okay,
Right.
so okay. Like I don't know. I haven't like that hasn't been an issue with me in terms of the Instagram stuff. But let's just say put it like this. You look at it like we got eyes. Everybody can look at stuff. But when you're saving the pics and it's almost like you're going back to them, or if you are hyper constantly looking at corn or something, that's where I think some, even possibly men, but I'm gonna say women for the most part, I think that's where it becomes a problem, because then it's like you're looking for external things to get you excited. Like, and it's okay sometimes, occasionally. We know people do what they do. Hell, look at Diddy. But it's like when it becomes an obsession, you know?
Yeah, I don't need to do all that. Like if I'm in a relationship, I don't need to be on Instagram like that. That I don't need to be. Um,
Yeah,
but
it's weird.
I know people in full relationship, they still liking pictures. They are. They still liking the pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're on their Instagram feed and something trifling pop up, they gonna double tap it. I don't know why, but I don't have to do all that. I don't.
His lordship say he used a fake name so his wife can't find out.
Now
But
see,
then,
oh whoa
huh?
whoa 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 time out. We got a child listening.
Oh,
Rachel got a child listening, so we
oh,
gonna have to be cool. We gonna have to be cool. Man, Rachel, why didn't you say something? All right, so but anyway,
yeah.
back to Diddy. Um, so if you guys just coming in, if you don't know, there's a entertainer is suing Cassie and Diddy now. And my question to you guys is, do you think more men will come out?
I definitely think so. It's a payday. I mean, and they're going to be looking at this particular first one to see how he bows. If he does
Don't act
well,
like you didn't see that comment.
huh?
Don't act like you didn't just see Queen V comment.
I didn't. What
She
was
said
it?
we look too to be real. Y'all do be on Instagram looking. Y'all do. Oh yes, y'all do.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
but
All
it's
right. So
not.
let's go
It's
ahead. Continue. I just want to let all the ladies see her comment. But go ahead. Continue.
no. I mean, you're absolutely right. I like I said earlier, we have eyes too, but I don't know. It's just it seems like it's different for men. Um. Oh, so Liz is saying she hopes more men come out. I definitely think more guys are going to come out, especially if he does well. And it looks, I don't know what stage his lawsuit. I think it's a recently filed one, or he did a refiling or something.
Right.
But if it's filed and he has an attorney, it's going to be the same kind of thing that happened with Cassie. Like, what are they going to do about it? Are they going to settle, or are they going to have a jury? Like, you know, and
Um.
regardless, go ahead.
Yeah. Here's the thing about that. So I do believe I do believe if this is a situation. Let's say if he was to settle or something. I
Mm-hmm.
honestly believe there are going to be more men that come out. Yes,
Yeah.
I do believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do believe it. That more men will come out for sure. And I remember we was talking in the courtroom. I said, after this is said and done, there's going to be more lawsuits coming for Puff and Cassie. I said that. I said it's coming eventually,
I
and
never
here
thought
we are.
about her. I never thought about her getting sued for this.
I'm not sure Glamour how much he is asking for, but I'm sure that's down the line. We'll see. There was a lot of, by the way, what I noticed throughout this whole trial, there was a lot of lawyers sitting in the gallery.
Yeah.
So they representing people probably.
Tony Busby probably already has the 1-800 number up already.
Yeah, he been had the 1-800 number up.
Because here's another thing, the same way that Diddy was flooded with some real cases and some fraudulent, it may be the same thing. Now that they're going for Cassie and Diddy, I bet you there's going to be some real cases, but it's going to be some crazies that's going to come out the woodwork and just to get their name out there for the clout, whatever. And it's going to be some fake cases too. It's just inevitable almost.
Yeah, it's inevitable that they're going to come out because I could even see the Punisher coming out trying to sue.
Yeah, because he had the book, right?
Right, he the one wrote the book. No, Farnsworth Bentley name didn't come up in the trial. Farnsworth, yeah, he didn't come up. His name didn't come up at all.
I don't remember him coming up. Yeah.
Nope, not Farnsworth Bentley.
And I don't even remember his real name, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, definitely didn't come up.
Now, when you said you made a comment earlier about you would sue to make you whole, it was Don Richard who kept saying she didn't remember her testimony or talking to the feds and saying that the attorneys hadn't coached her, but she kept saying make her whole, which to me, that was very much a legal term, legalese. So that's when I knew she was fibbing. Not saying that her testimony was a lie, but that of course your attorney has been coaching you, because that's something that they typically tell the victims or the plaintiffs, you need to be made whole. I was like, girl, who you fooling?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Medea? Um,
Hey, Medea.
yeah, he gonna want to be made whole, man. And yeah, for sure, more is coming out for sure. I think. And you, like she said, she is on the record of saying that she helped transport. And she really, if you think about it, she's like a co-conspirator,
Who?
Cassie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely. I pretty much, they probably pretty much said that. But I mean, clientele said, could they countersue for what though? What would Cassie and Diddy countersue when they have been exposed in court and they just went through this case where Cassie testified against Diddy and Diddy admitted to some wrongdoing and he's been found guilty. So what, on what basis would the countersuit be?
I don't know.
No, the person was asking the question, so I'm
Yeah,
posing the
I'm not
question like,
sure.
why would you even think? I mean, and I'm not saying it in a rude way. Don't get me wrong, but what would you think the premise of the countersuit would be when they are
Yeah,
both in court and he's been found guilty of some stuff?
I agree with Rachel. I think if anything, they could settle with him out of court, on the low, just settle out, so this won't go no further.
Yeah,
But then if
Cassie.
the other guys get wind that he settled out, they're gonna want to jump in.
So see, Cassie already has the blueprint for this. This is gonna be crazy because first of all, Cassie's got to pay those attorneys to represent her, and then
Right.
it, yeah, probably would be cheaper for her to settle. But then if there's a settlement, then that's another person coming. The rest of the guys are coming looking for their settlement too.
And we know, guys, with civil cases, it's the preponderance of evidence. Is it likely to be true or not? Like if the scales tip just a little bit in his favor, he wins. It's not like a criminal trial where it's the burden of proof, but that's the highest burden. But civil cases, the preponderance of evidence. So we'll
And we
see
know
how that works.
that the scales are already tipped in his favor because there's a whole transcript, almost what 40, 60 days of transcripts which show both of these people were complicit and have already admitted to calling and setting up and paying. So there's not a whole lot that he has to prove, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he said that she's already on record saying certain things.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said Cassie will not need to settle. She's a public. No, this is different now. This is not the criminal case no more. She's already admitted to help setting this up. So he's technically saying that he's a victim and she's responsible and he's responsible. This is a little different. He can. I believe he can still go. He can come after her.
He can. What happened with Cassie and Diddy was a criminal suit, and they when this started, possibly. Remember, she may have gotten immunity, or she could have faced some criminal charges. Well, by the fact that she got immunity, and she probably would have been found guilty of some things as well, and she already testified that she did set these things up, he could have a suit against her. It's going to be the gift that keeps on giving, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how this works. But do you want to give them any kind of background? Because we were there at the trial. Do you want to give them anything that you witnessed? Any like behind the scenes that you remember?
In turn, like what? Like, give me an example.
You said if they pass STDs, yeah, Tina, that's what he claims.
But
I don't know.
the
Did
person,
you had
the,
any backstories, anything like that you want to share?
not that I could think of off the top of
Well,
my head.
you met Big Gene.
Oh yeah, I did. I met
Yeah.
Gene. Yeah, I kind of sang to him. He was really nice too, and I said I apologize for coming to you in the midst of all of this, because I know it's real serious for you, because you guys know Gene, in my opinion, was one of the pioneers of all this stuff against Diddy. He was one of the very first to come out, probably in 2016 or something like that.
Hmm.
And so I was telling him, I know, this is serious, and I know, but I had to come over here and say, the Gene Deal show, the D Deal show. And I was singing, and, we just had a moment. He was like, "Oh, you fine, mama? How you doing?" And stuff like that. So that was kind of cool.
And
Yeah.
let me tell you what he did. So she sat back over there with me, and he cut his eye at me like, oh, she over there with him. This happened so much during the trial, guys. I felt like, man, she should have told me to get out the way. Everybody thought I was her bodyguard.
Max, okay, can you share that video? So Max was talking earlier. Max said that he was blocking. He wasn't blocking nothing, you guys, because I wasn't tripping. But this one guy gave me his number. He was like, "I'll fly to California and see you, and you can come back here and visit me. I'm getting ready to retire." What he was saying, some stuff. And then he was so mannerable, so polite, kiss my hand. And,
Hmm.
you're a lady, and I just want you to know you're da 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 da. Y'all, this man outside of the court is yelling, acting a plum. Oh, Max, do you have that video?
I can't. I'm on my cell phone. I can't.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't show it either,
I
but
remember that.
yeah. And
And
he
then
was,
he saw me over there with her. He was about to come over. I said I could have stepped out the way.
yeah.
Yeah,
You said you could have stepped out the way. What?
I said I could have stepped out the way.
No, you couldn't. No, no, no. We were just fine. It was funny. We met Marab Marali too. I know you guys might know him. He's a big YouTuber. We met so many people. It was awesome.
Yeah, a lot of the big name YouTubers is out there. We saw every day.
Yeah, I thought that was good. It was the camaraderie that was really nice.
Do you want to share to them that you had a moment with Quincy?
Uh, Quincy. Oh, well, you guys, I saw Mama Combs in the cafeteria with Chenoa. That's one of Max's subs, and we met her out there, and we were hanging around and stuff. And so she came over because Chenoa was telling her that she used to see her in Justin's. Like, she used to go to the restaurant. Max, was that
Yeah,
in Manhattan or somewhere, or
yeah,
Queens? So yeah,
Manhattan.
she had stopped Mama Combs at the table, and she was telling her I used to come and, to the restaurant. So we got to talking, and I was just telling her, I understand that our kids mess up, but we love our kids no matter what, because we were telling her that she has been an amazing support for her son. She has shown up even when nobody else was there. You might see her sitting behind him by herself. And so then we just had a moment, got up and shared a hug, and, like, it's gonna be okay. And then Quincy, as we were leaving, I told Quincy, keep your head up, and that people were praying for his dad. And I said, I even watch a YouTube channel, because I do. I followed him before this started. Um, and he was like, "Oh, that's what's up." So, I mean, despite everything that's going on, they're just people like us, and I'm sure this is very heavy for them to see their dad going through this. I can't imagine hearing my dad doing a damn freak off. I would have slid all the way up under the courtroom pews. That would have been what? That
Yeah,
had to be a lot for those twins.
Queen B said there's a bias because it's a man and he's not believed. But yeah, we were talking about that.
Agreed.
Um,
Yeah, and I don't think that's fair. I feel the same way you guys have. You guys listen to Cassie. It's the same. A victim is a victim, right? Believe all victims, right? That's what they say. But no, it's not. It's not. People don't feel that way.
yeah, Punisher said he wasn't suing.
Listen, people say a lot until the attorneys come in and say, you could get this amount. Listen, if this man is successful, people will say a lot until the money hit the table, okay? You get the right attorney in your ear talking about, listen, I got this case, it's wrapped up, you can get a quick this, that, please.
I personally wouldn't sue. Like if I was an entertainer and they paid me well, I personally wouldn't be suing.
Well, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't. I ain't gonna lie. If it if they came to me and was like, your rights were violated, you literally were a victim, and I didn't know I was a victim, and I got some rights, and I'm not gonna even sit up here and say I would. A couple $1,000,000 to get my life together. My moral compass is not that high no more. Please.
They said a couple million. Like yeah, let make me whole.
Yeah, make me exactly. Let me make myself whole with this stuff because they did me dirty. I was trafficked.
Yeah, but one of the entertainers said he bought a house off them.
Yeah, that's this. I think that's this guy, right?
It's a different guy.
Okay,
The one that interviewed with Armand Wiggins.
okay. Now I saw a little bit of that clip. Okay, you guys, let's talk about the Armand situation because people, mainstream media took that and ran with it and was saying that they were celebrating and not thinking about the victims. Max got the footage. I was on the opposite side, so I didn't get to film it. But it was impromptu. I don't think Armand was not necessarily a Diddy supporter in the first place, and I think it was just like an impromptu them coming together with Uda on go. They weren't trying to mock the victims, in my opinion. What you think, Max?
No, I think it was just an improv. Just because it was stressful going to that trial every day, and it just a little light fun. That's all it was.
Yeah,
I was there when it happened,
yeah, you were right
until that
there. You
lady, until
filmed
that
it.
lady, till that lady started flashing everybody. Then I had to stop. I had to turn my camera.
So right before they did that, wasn't Mama Combs going into the she was going into the building. Did that happen first? Because I feel like that and that's when everybody started getting together because they was cheering her on, saying free it, they started cheering her, and then right after that, that's when it all happened. That's what I remember.
That's after she went in the building, because
That's what I'm
they were
saying.
chanting free Diddy, and she was chanting with them, and then she went in the building, and then they started. They saying the baby oil came out.
Yeah. And see,
But
that's
shout
what
out
I,
to
I
that.
feel
That was
like
a
it.
good. That was like
Mhm.
improv. You know what I'm saying? It was just
Yeah.
lighthearted fun.
Yeah. But let me say this, you guys. I do understand, how it may be perceived. I mean, we're learning as we go with some of this. So now the fact that we were intermingled with legacy media, now I do understand what the perception is. Um,
Yeah, I understand that.
yeah, and so it maybe yeah, it didn't look so good, but I don't think the intentions weren't, to be anything negative. So
Yeah, I understand that.
right. I can't see the person who's saying this because on my side it's cut off. But it says if you watch Armand when he does his intros, he speaks of baby oil and being oiled up. Yeah, and so I think that's all it was. And Uda, now I think Uda isn't he a Diddy supporter though publicly? Because he was wearing the shirts.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, he was wearing the free Diddy shirts. So
Okay,
I mean, and that's his right. I mean, everybody don't have to be for or against Diddy. We all have a right to pick and choose.
right,
I was kind of down the middle, to be honest.
right.
I thought the RICO was too much, but I felt that he would be found guilty of something. I did.
Yeah, like that's what people were saying. They gonna get him on something, and they
Yeah.
did the lesser charges.
But Max, don't you feel like the feds are like, what the F? Come on now. They not. And I've been reading that they're still going to be bringing some more charges against him. They said something about California. I don't know how true that is, but they pissed.
I'm not sure if they bring in more charges, but you said they probably said something about the baby oil incident.
Who?
You said the feds probably was like, "Damn," about the baby oil thing, or
No. The feds, just in the fact that they didn't get the RICO, and they did. I mean, this was not a win for the feds. This is not a win for the feds.
it's a slight win,
Well, yeah, it's a
not a
partial,
full win.
but remember, the feds are unbeatable. That's what people
And just like
generally say.
for Diddy's side, it's a slight win for them as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he gets to, it could have been worse, a lot worse than what it was. So he's gonna see the light of day sooner or later.
But you're not ever supposed to. I'm going to say beat the feds in the sense that they didn't get the slam dunk. If they had gotten the RICO and the other charges were, you know, found out, found not guilty, that would have been different. But the RICO, no way. I mean, that was the huge thing. That's what everybody was debating and arguing. So for them
Well,
not to get that, I don't think it looks great for them.
it's just they were only working with the hand they were dealt, so they tried to work the case the best they can, and also it worked in Diddy's favor that he requested for a speedy trial. That really worked in his favor, and so it worked out really, for him. Um,
But Max,
his
when you
lawyers did a
said,
really good job.
but when you said they did the best they could with the hand they were dealt, they didn't even have to bring some of those charges though. So the hand that they were dealt is the hand that they dealt themselves.
Well, Damian Williams brought that on. He's no longer
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Yeah, if it was a bench trial, then maybe he would have been in trouble. But, the jury, that's why we have the jury. They spoke. They have
Yeah.
spoken, and, you know, they said they didn't see it. Now, there's one juror that's speaking out now. Did you hear him?
Yes. He was saying the videos look pretty tame. Like, I don't know what tame is to him. I mean, tame could be relative, like what are you used to seeing? But yeah, I feel like a lot of the jurors felt like a lot of us. Again, I'm going to do a video about it later, but they just had an update about a young lady that's being trafficked here in the Bay Area. And the way we learn trafficking, this woman has not seen her family. They don't know where she is. The FBI is involved. And I know there may be variations and variants of that, but I think a lot of people have a different vision. And let me say, somebody made a great point. What a lot of people think about trafficking is that movie called, do you remember that movie, Max, where this man, his daughter went overseas and then he had to go find her. She was abducted with her friend. It was a real popular movie, maybe back in the early 2000s. I
I
forget the
think I know
name
what
of
you're
it.
talking about.
Yeah, and so that's kind of probably the image of trafficking that most of us have. And so you can't expect us to be accelerated understanding of, well, this is the new trafficking. These are the new RICO. It don't work that way.
Oh, real quick. Sharice said, Max, did you follow the Gotti? Did you follow Irv Gotti? And then when they tried for Rico, a little bit, slightly. And I know he won that case. Yeah, slightly. Just in the media, I followed. I didn't read the transcripts or anything, but yeah, I remember he beat that case. Yeah, I remember he beat
Taken.
that case.
Yes, it was the movie Taken. Thank you,
Taken.
Glamour W1. Yes. And so I think when you're asking us to look at Cassie, because people were saying, oh, you guys are jealous because she had money. No, it's not about the fact that she got the money. When I hear trafficking, I'm thinking people that are taken away from their family, taken to different states, are working. They cannot leave. They can't use phones. They don't have the ability to say, oh, okay, well, I'm done with the freak off today. I'm gonna go home. Yeah, I'm pissed off. We had a disagreement. This is DV, but we'll set it up for 2 weeks from now. Okay. I get to go home, chill, and then go back into it. No, that's not traffic to me. That's somewhat a participant. To what point is she a victim? I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist. you know, but so I think in the traditional sense of trafficking, she didn't necessarily fit that for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm against all that trafficking stuff. I really am. But Medea said it was a possible reach that we go, but the video was definitely horrible, not mild. You talking about the hotel video? Now the one of the alternates came out and said that the videos that they watched wasn't that bad. He said it was
See,
tame.
yeah, and I think did they almost say that she looked like she enjoyed it, which I can't see how you can make that assessment because even when you create those adult films, you're supposed to act like you like it, right? So
Yeah, that's up to his interpretation, but
exactly, yeah,
you know, and I didn't see it, so
yeah.
I would like all the other jurors to come out eventually, the ones that actually decided the case. I would like to hear from them
Well,
and see
another
what
one
they
came
said.
out anonymously. There was another person that spoke out as well, but they didn't want, their name or anything.
Yeah, but it's up to your interpretation. Like, if Cassie says she didn't, I have to take her word for it because you could be acting, So
Yeah.
yeah, those XX videos are just like that, right? Are just that they acting. Yeah,
But see,
Armand
Queen,
would they were just having some light fun, and I was there when they did it, man. I had shook his hand. I say, man, that was a good one, man. Like, cause we were all stressed out because we all been going through it. They were going every day. It's like, a great part of their summer is missing because they were working every day. It was work. It really was
yeah,
work. And I want to say this for the people that said the YouTubers were acting up and stuff. No, they weren't. It was just a few people that were placed out there that was yelling and stuff like that. They weren't the bona fide YouTubers. The bona fide YouTubers like myself, Armand and them, and Neek at Night. They were out there actually working. They were actually putting in work. Um, So they were serious about their craft. Um, so I just wanted to say that because they trying to say the streamers were acting wild. No, we weren't. We were really. It was just some people out there. I feel like they were placed out there to cause a disturbance. And they happen to be streaming, but they're that's not really what we're about. The streamers. We actually was out there working. It was a job at the end of the day. I think of streaming as a job. There's people making real money. There's people don't clear $50,000. Rotten Mango on July 21st, she's gonna get $140,000 check. Okay, going into her bank account. This is a real job. You know, um, it is. It's a real job, and it takes a lot of your day and a lot of your time. Sometimes we work all day long doing this, trying to, you know, um, build an audience. Building an audience is really hard. It's an organic audience. I didn't have help. An organic audience is really hard because you got to read the comments, you got to engage, um, you got to do different things. And Armand was a serious YouTuber as well. He's doing his thing, and it's an income for him. This is his job, and I don't want people to look at him a certain way because he's actually serious about this. He came out there. He flew out to New York and he stayed the whole time and he worked. But and we got some. I hadn't even got an interview with the mainstream. I got an interview with French TV. It was a French news station I interviewed with. So we were out there working. Yeah, Rotten Mango. If you go on her social blade, then let me just tell you guys this if you don't know. The high amount, like you go to the monthly, what they're getting monthly, that high number is accurate. That high number is accurate. I can tell you it is. I know for a fact. So she gonna clock $140,000 on July 21st. Okay, for the month of June, 140,000. So this is serious business. It's serious business. Okay, once you get in that algorithm, you're not turning back. It's a serious business. That's why Tisa gonna clock 50,000. You see what I'm saying? Um, Armand not that far off. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to count pockets, but the reason why I'm saying this is because it's a serious business. We're the new media. It's serious. And like I said, I was strategizing with a few people because I have to get out there and start streaming events, in the New York City area since I'm here. And I'm not going anywhere for the near future. I'm here now. So, because I got to take care of my mother. So I'm here for the near future. And it's a business. You got to strategize. You got to take it serious. And that's what they do. That's what they have taught me. I saw them out there hustling. Like Tisa tells, she do everything herself. Like when she interviewed me real quick, people said she was looking at her phone. She was getting her thumbnail ready. I just happened to like, hey Tisa, can you come here real quick? And she did it. And she gave me a firm handshake. A firm handshake. She gave me a firm. So she's solid in my book. All of them is solid in my book. I met JC. I sat there and talked to them. Some of these people we have broken bread with. At the break room we have lunch together, stuff like that. I'll never forget that. Like some of the connections that I have made. Like Neek at Night. She's serious about her craft. I met her. Um, these people are serious about their craft. So I don't want the media to think that the streamers was out there acting wild. No, they were out there working. And you
Can I
know what
say,
some of the people
Max, can I
said?
jump in for a second about Armand?
Sure.
So the situation with Armand, from what I noticed, there was one lady from CNN, a black lady from Legacy Media, and she was out there with us the first couple of days, very nice and everything. And what I think happened is because Armand was on Nancy Grace, and I don't know everything that he was on, but I feel like because Legacy Media kind of, I'm going to say to some degree, felt kind of looked down on us a little bit or whatever. This is
Hmm.
traditionally their area, their realm, everything. They have the sidewalk set up. They've done this before, but with the influx of YouTubers, it was very different for them, right? And so what I think happened with Armand is, everybody loved him. He was doing numbers and he was doing great. And when they saw him out there celebrating, I don't know who painted this narrative, but all it takes is one person to make something negative. And it was almost like they were appalled, like, how dare you? Like, we've let you into this society. Because, they are the gatekeepers, right? So him and Tisa and maybe a few others were given the little key. Well, come on over, to ABC or NBC. We're going to interview you. And when they saw that, it was like, oh my God, this is not representative of what we, how we see things. And you shouldn't be out there doing that, because I could hear some of the traditional people that we've seen, people might accidentally go up to them and say, oh, what's your thought? And some of them would say, oh, I can't speak on it, or I can't say anything. I heard that about 3 or 4 times. And that was a little shocking to me. We're YouTubers. We can say what the hell we want as long as it's within YouTube guidelines, right? But for them working for a mainstream media, they got to be careful what they say, when they say, and how they say it. Like, we can't just go up there and say, hey, can you do it? If you notice that, Max, I don't know if you noticed that, but they had to be careful. And so I think once they saw Armand out there celebrate, it was almost like, to some of them, they were appalled and a slap in the face. It's like, we let you in. We're of a different hierarchy, and you out there celebrating with these, that's how I interpreted it.
It could be the case. Yeah, Nika Knight did her thing. Lisa Evers is the OG in this, though. Lisa Evers from Street Soldiers. Lisa Evers is the OG. So I got a chance. I met her and talked to her and different things. So I did get a chance to meet these people. I did, and
Yeah,
I met just a lot of people sitting in the overflow room with me, and taking. We were all taking diligent notes. So it was work. It really was. We
it
were taking
was.
notes. I have my notes still. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I do have my notes still from the whole
Preserve
trial.
those notes. That's evidence that we were
Right.
there.
Yep.
Oh, yes, you guys, can you hit the like buttons for both of us? If
Thank you.
you, yeah, whatever chat you're in, please hit the like button,
Yeah,
please.
that'll be greatly appreciated. So yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, we took notes, and it was stressful. Like it was a couple days where we weren't feeling good because just the energy was off, but we still, you know, celebrity. She traveled from coast to coast, and she saw it through because we were talking about finishing it out strong, and we did. We survived the Diddy trial.
We survived the Diddy trial. That was history, Max.
Yep, we survived the Diddy trial. Diddy, sorry for the circumstances, but he brought a lot of people together.
He did. Do you
Yep.
think there's going to be anything of this magnitude? Well, I was thinking about the Tupac, the Keefe D. I think that's going to be big, but do you think it's going to be as, I don't know. What
No,
do you
not to
think?
this magnitude. No.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Luigi, more than likely, it'll
Mm.
be national attention,
Mm-hmm.
but not quite like Diddy though.
Yeah,
I
Diddy
don't
was
see a lot of
huge.
those people showing up for Luigi trial. I will be there for that, but I don't see a lot of people showing up for Luigi.
This was
Possibly.
historical. Max, I'm going to step away 1 second. I got to go get something real quick, so I'll be
Sure.
right back.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people showing up for Luigi, but I will be there. I will get a press badge. I'm gonna work on that, and I will be covering other events next year. If I'm here, I'll be at the Met Gala for sure because I'm gonna have a press pass. So I'm gonna be at all these events and streaming the footage, just like the press. I will be there. And if any events happen, any protests happen in New York City, I will be there. I'm gonna be at the protest because I got an idea from this guy named Sean. Shout out to him. He streamed all these. He was at the Pride Parade. I mean, I wish I should have been there. He got 500,000 views out the deal in less than 24 hours. So, yeah, he said they wanted to push the Diddy guilty narrative so they could get accepted in white America now. They just got their Uncle Tom bus kicked out of wow, okay. When it was I don't know. It was one thing I could say about the media though, they have to be fair. They have to be a certain way they report, but they didn't lie to you in their reporting. And a lot of the people in the media, they also have social media and they were updating their social medias as well. They weren't lying. They were telling what they saw. They were taking diligent notes in there. They were telling you how they saw it. But they have to deliver it a certain way. They have to be really, really professional. But this is their bread and butter, so I understand. They're journalists. You got to have a level of integrity when it comes to journalism. I know that I took journalism classes in college, so I know. But I do think Luigi will be big, and I will be there for that. And I will be boots on the ground for Luigi, and I also will be boots on the ground for the Gilgo Beach serial killer case. Rex Heuermann, he's a alleged serial killer. So I will be there, boots on the ground in New York City for that. So the Law and Crime did a really good job. Elizabeth Milner, I met her. She did a really, really good job reporting this, and she didn't leave anything out as far as she wasn't being misleading at all. She was telling how it was, but they have to deliver it a certain way. And I must say that they all did a really good job. Brian, the legal correspondent, I remember him from the Law and Crime Network. Brian did a really good job, and his legal analysis, all of them did. All of the legal analysts there did a really good job because I watched them. When I get home, I watch them, and they did a really awesome job there. We met Brian. Brian was in the overflow room with us. Jerika, what is it? Jerika was there. She took diligent notes. She did an awesome job. She updates her social media. Yeah, we saw everybody there. I even saw Gloria Allred. I sure did, and her daughter Lisa Bloom. I was on the elevator with them. Yep, I was on the elevator with Miss Gloria Allred. Sure was. And one of the guys from TMZ was like, I need to be on the radio. Shout out to him. He said, you need to be doing voiceovers or something. And I was like, oh, man, you saw. He said, no, I'm serious. He said, man, James Earl Jones is gone. You should be taking over. I said, I ain't got no voice quite like James Earl Jones. He had a hell of a voice. Hell of a voice. Darth Vader, man. Come on, he's a legend. Darth Vader. And the guy, especially the guy from the Thriller video, that was another one.
I
She
was going to
said,
jump in and say another thing. The guy who is going to be suing them, he was, I think, in the interview or somewhere. You guys know that video that they showed of Cassie? That allegedly was Diddy dragging her back to a freak off. Notice the person, Jules, I think it was Jules, who
Jules,
was
yeah.
allegedly in the room that night, he never testified.
No,
So the point, so what they're saying is that the reason he didn't test, that would have been critical information, because remember, Diddy said no. We were arguing about her going through my cell phone, and I snatched the phone, and they said no. Diddy was pulling her back. That he had assaulted her and was pulling her back to the freak off. Well, Jules allegedly was in the room. His testimony would have been critical to what he witnessed, and that Diddy was forcing her to do that. This guy was saying that's not what occurred. It was not. And I think Jules went on record to say no, it wasn't about the freak off. It was about they had gotten into a fight about a phone, and she had gotten jealous about something. So if it supported the narrative that the government wanted, the prosecutors, that man would have testified. But I believe his testimony didn't support the narrative that it was a freak off, that he was forcing her back into the room for the freak off.
that link is for you, Medea, if you want it. Medea said, "What, actually, what are your thoughts on Chef Jordan's response to the verdict?" Well, I did get a chance to see her responses. I now follow her on Instagram, so I got a chance to listen. She said that they had dropped her off the case. She was set to testify, and she was just saying how she witnessed stuff with Cassie, and she said she felt like her life's on the line. She did say that, so I was just listening to her. You know,
Was she one of the ones that submitted a letter, a statement to keep him in or to
no,
deny bail? Do you remember? Okay.
no, it was Cassie and Deontay Nash.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people are coming out saying that their lives are in danger. I mean, honestly, I don't know how much of that I believe. I don't know.
Okay, the defaced guns, that wasn't even a factor because he didn't. That might have been one of the predicate acts, but no, they didn't see that as a factor. He
Well,
got off of that.
did it run the statute on some of those things?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe some of the things, even though they were listed as predicate acts, it might
Oh,
have
she
been when they
did. Oh, wait a
applied the
minute.
law.
I stand corrected. They said she did write a letter to the judge. Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah, because I knew
Okay.
they said some additional people had written letters, but I know that with some of the predicate acts, I saw that some of the attorneys were saying that even though they were listed as predicate acts, that they still had to fall within a particular time frame of the statute of limitation. So some of those things, even though they were listed, they may have fallen outside of it because they take everything and throw it at the wall and they see what sticks. So some of that stuff probably just didn't stick.
Okay, so yeah, I stand corrected. Sorry, guys. She did send a letter to the judge. So let me get that. That's going to segue into this. I wanted to say this to you, celebrity. So, oh, hold on one second. That might be Medea. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. The guess. Hold on a second. Medea. Medea. Hold on. Let me see. It's not allowing me to bring you in for some reason. You
You
should.
know what? I could. It might be because we're both, here on here. I'm the destination, so I could drop down so she can come up.
Oh no, it's good. It's I think it's she having a problem on her end.
Okay.
Um,
Let me see.
can you see your guest?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I
You
can.
see her?
No, I don't see. Okay, I see her
Oh,
here, but it's not.
it's saying her mic is blocked for some reason.
Oh, okay. That might be a technical thing. Oh, just share it, Medea. Just give it permission so that you know.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, go out and come back in, Medea. Um, so here's the thing. The next step is Tuesday. They're having a teleconference to decide when the sentencing is going to be because he didn't want to wait till October. Okay, So both sides agreed. Okay, if he want to speed this up, that's fine with us. The prosecutor said it's fine with them. Okay, here we go.
Hey y'all.
Hey,
Hey, Medea.
Medea.
Hey beautiful. Hey
Hey.
Max.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm not saying hey beautiful to you, Max, but you're beautiful all the
Well,
time.
thank you,
Right.
Medea.
Oh, Medea.
Thank you very much.
On the docket.
You're welcome.
Hey, Medea. I mean, I had it set up. If you wanted to go live, you could be live and be on the panel as well if you wanted to.
I
I
don't
had
know
it
how to
set up
do
that
that,
way.
Max.
Oh, but let me just say this, you guys, real quick. So the next step is Tuesday. They're having a teleconference to decide when the sentencing is going to be because they originally said October 3rd. Diddy, you could tell he really wasn't feeling that. So the lawyers, they said, well, can we speed this up? The judge said, I don't have a problem with that. The prosecutor said they don't have a problem with it. Let's talk Tuesday. So that's what's going to happen this Tuesday. So now when you get to the sentencing, okay, so you're going to have victim impact statements. Okay. So I don't know if these people are going to come up and give victim impact statements. So the judge is heavily going to consider that. And also maybe people from Diddy's camp will go up there and speak on his behalf. He's going to open up for Diddy if he would like to speak on his behalf. And then the judge is going to decide. So, both sides are going to argue mitigating and aggravating circumstances on why he should be sentenced on the low or high end. So that's going to happen. But the judge, if he wanted to, he can make this sentence consecutive. Now, I looked into this. Why? How can he make it consecutive? Well, if it involves two victims, if there's a pattern, he can make it consecutive if he wanted to. I'm not saying he's going to do this, but let me just bring up the concurrent. All right, so let me just go down here. So Um, it says here consecutive is more likely if the crimes are separate in nature involving different victims or show a pattern of continued criminal conduct. He can make it consecutive at that point. So he could say, listen, I'm going to give him 5 years apiece and make it consecutive. That's 10 years if he really wanted to do that, because it is involving two separate victims and it show a pattern with this Mann Act. It's two different people. So if he wanted to, he can go consecutive. But if Diddy is lucky, it'll run concurrent, meaning that the sentence is served together. So we're going to have to wait and see how because the judge has complete discretion here. You know how we say that the jury is the most important people in the courtroom? Well, now the judge is. The judge has to bring down the sentence now. What do you guys think about that?
I
Go
don't
ahead,
know.
Medea.
Hey, I don't know. I was well, when the judge came back after the break, he he led with the bond is denied.
Yes, he
Before
did.
he said anything else, he
Yes, he
said
did.
the bond is denied. And I was just like, he didn't even say like, okay, parties, I will listen to your arguments, defense, prosecute. He was
Hmm.
just like, the bond is denied. So I'm like, I wish I could teleport myself into his mind because I don't know. I just felt like he should have listened to their arguments before he made that decision. I get
Okay,
that he
well,
got the
let me just say
letters.
this real quick. He
Yeah.
did listen to him, like, because Mr. Agnifilo said, "Well, man, I had a whole presentation set up, but I don't see a glimmer of hope in your eyes." And he said, "Maybe I could see a glimmer of hope in your eyes." So he did go with his presentation. The judge did listen. He's okay, Mr. Agnifilo. I can listen to you. So he did listen to him, but it was still denied. I mean, like you said, he did lead off with that. Let me just read something
Yeah.
with you. Read
But
something real
let me
quick.
jump. Okay, let me jump in real quick, you guys. Remember, Max, when we were talking that whole situation that happened to BJ? That's what I kept saying, and BJ read it. It said that it was mandatory pursuant to, I don't even remember the case law. It cited the statute that he was not going to be able to get out. Cassie's law called it to the judge's attention. I don't know if Deontay Nash, but there was a statute already stating based on these conditions, it is mandatory bail would be denied.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
mandatory. But
So it was,
let,
so it wasn't even like I don't think he had the latitude to even override it. And
Mm.
he's probably And if he did, he was going to follow the law, which said it was mandatory that there was not going to be any bail. That's what Cassie's attorney had cited in the letter.
Okay, let me just read this real quick and get you guys' thoughts on this real quick. So,
Mhm.
concurrent is more common when the offenses are part of the same conduct or course of events. Consecutive is more likely if the crimes are separate in nature involving different victims or show a pattern of continued criminal conduct. So the judge has that. And like you said, the judge came in. I don't know if he had any discretion to let him out, even though it said it was mandatory. Okay, that changed it a little bit. If it was mandatory, like this, like they did quote the statute, it said it was mandatory in Cassie's letter. But I don't know if he had the discretion to say, no, I'm going to let him out anyway. But he did say that he was a threat to the community. He said,
Yeah,
Mr. Agnifilo, you did submit to that in your closing statement.
right.
Yeah, he
He
did.
used their words against him. They used that DV. Now, somebody else, we were debating this. They had to use that DV and say he had to own that. That's one of the reasons why he was able to get not face those RICO charges, because they had to admit to the lower situation, was which is the DV. However, that was used against him in the closing. Now, the person Shogun said the judge could have done what he wanted to. Law doesn't work that way. You don't get to do what you want. There are laws and statutes that give you, that tell you what you're supposed to do. And if he does the wrong thing, there would be an appeal. You don't just get to arbitrarily, just because you're the judge, you still have certain things that you are confined to. So the judge is not imperial, can do whatever. No, they cannot.
Okay, did you have something to add on it to it, Medea?
Well, I get the statute part. My thing was just he didn't at least allow them to present their side, each side's compelling arguments, and then deny it. So I felt like pretty much I feel like he showed up and was just like, "We're not doing this. It's not happening." Okay, whatever else you say, understand it's already denied. Period. Full stop. So like I'm that to me, I say that because I'm like, okay, so what is his sentencing going to be?
Yeah, so like I said, what because he did come out from the gate, they didn't even I could see if he said, you know what, go ahead and do your arguments first, even though Mr. Agnifilo did do a presentation. But
Yeah.
that was after the fact. He already had his
Mhm.
mind made up already.
Right.
So
I don't feel like okay, so Shogun said the judge has some latitude if it's a guideline. That wasn't a guideline. They quoted the statute and it said it's mandatory. It wasn't a guideline. The
I
guidelines are
think
going to be when they do the sentencing.
mhm.
I
So that
think
wasn't a
this
guideline that we were reading.
I think the statute is the United States section 18. I'm trying to remember. I think it's 2412.
Bro, you're good. It was, I can't remember it.
I
I
think
don't
that's what
remember.
it is. I looked it
Yeah.
up because I looked it up after Cassie's attorney put it in the letter to
Yeah.
read up on it because I was like, wait a minute, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like Shogun, like, oh, the judge could do whatever he wants to do at this point because he's been acquitted of these higher charges to this, just a man act. So based on his criminal history, lack thereof, he could possibly go home.
Yes,
But
he could possibly go
you
home.
have to remember, judges cannot do exactly, and it's a good thing that they can't, because if they did, remember, historically black people would not, we wouldn't have statutes and things to support the law, which they don't even enact it the way they should anyway. But
Right,
if people could do whatever they want, it would still be the Wild Wild West, right?
right,
If we
right.
didn't have, yeah, so no, they can't, and it would have been an immediate appeal anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. The prosecution could have filed an appeal if the judge had let him out. Cassie's lawyer could have submitted an appeal. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. This is another case. This is another RICO that Brian still won. He won two. Yep, he won a state one and he won a federal one. So
Hmm.
his numbers went up.
Ooh, yes, you got to have money to get him now for sure.
Yeah, Brian Steele case, his numbers have gone up through the roof. And he
Nicole
was very
Westmoreland too.
instrumental. He was
Don't
very instrumental in helping them prepare for this case.
don't you think Nicole Westmoreland as well?
Yes, of course. She works with him,
Yeah.
of course.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very solid during this case. Very solid. Very solid.
Yeah,
And
he had a very, he had like for 2025 Dream Team,
yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
with
Tenny
Mm-hmm.
the
Garagos was
exception
all
of
that.
Jose Bias.
Yeah, Tenny
Okay.
Garagos was all that. She's like a chip off the old block. Her dad, Mark
Mm-hmm.
Garagos.
Hmm. What do
Yeah,
you think
and
about Tacopina, Max?
very good. Very good attorney.
Okay, he's
Yeah.
representing Fat Joe.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. And
Hmm.
he's also representing Wendy when he's trying to get Wendy Williams out now too.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
cool.
he said he's not gonna stop until she comes home. He's not stopping. He owes her that. He said he owed her that. He's known her for a very long time, and he felt compelled to get on the case to help a friend out. He said he owes her to get out, and he said it's not good enough just her to get out every now and then. No, he wants her home. So he said he's gonna work until. That's why maybe he didn't jump on this case because he's working on that, and he said he's trying to get her home. So that's what he's working on.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So he
Shout
is.
out. Let me give a shout out to Jamil Peterson, Mr. I Am Comedy, in the chat. He said, I made fun of Diddy for years, but as soon as I saw what was going on in this case, I feel like he's not guilty. So I'm not going to try to get the man life for no reason. And I think that's what a lot of people felt. I think, you just could not, the jury probably saw this. Yeah, he's guilty of something, but not all this, not to go away for the rest of his
Well,
life.
did
Yeah,
you
shout out to
guys
Jamil
listen?
Peterson.
Are you guys checking and looking at social media and looking at I think it was Chopper. Chopper did a recent interview and he said that he doesn't believe. Now this is all alleged and this is just his theory and what he's saying. These are not the views of Max the Max Vault or Celebrity Scandalous. However, he was with another YouTuber and he said that he believes that Diddy has been a government informant for years and that Diddy got the wrong people on tape
Mm,
Mm,
and they wanted to teach him a lesson.
mm,
But he also feels like in teaching him that lesson, this was all just theatrics. They never really wanted to get him on the RICO because look at their stats. The federal government, their stats are phenomenal. They don't lose. They when they bring a RICO, it's usually like a done deal
mm-hmm,
because he said there were so many people that they could have talked to that they didn't. They didn't reach out to him. They didn't reach out to Q from day 26. They didn't reach out to multiple people who were much closer in the organization who could have actually literally helped them solidify a RICO charge because he said when he joined Bad Boy and when he was like looking at the organization and everything moving, he was like, Diddy is like a mafia boss. Like he said it was normal for him to see pums with the serial number off and, you know, uh different rugs and illegal activity going on
mm-hmm.
around Bad Boy. But he said nobody called him. He said nobody called and Harv Pierre, none of these people who can actually like give testimony as to the inner working. So he said he feels like the feds were just basically teaching him a lesson. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that's like a there something to even consider that Diddy's
Well,
been working with the feds?
well, one thing that what people were saying was that in his parties, he has cameras all around, and he may have had someone on tape. I'm not saying it's true or not, but if they did confiscate it, I don't know. Maybe they wanted. I felt like he pissed somebody off. I just don't know who it was. That's always how I felt about it, but I can't. I don't have nothing to substantiate it. But
Max, he said what you said early on. He said he feels like Diddy caught somebody who's considered an untouchable on tape.
Yeah, untouchable. Yes.
Hmm.
When I say untouchables, I'm talking about former heads of state, Congress, um, even local, even your state congressional people. Like, it's just certain people that you don't want to mess with. This
Hmm.
country has to run when we're no longer here. So there's certain things and certain decorum that we all got to follow just for this thing to, even though it seems chaotic, it could be even more chaotic if there wasn't rules in place. Like, for example, when you go, um, if you ever play football, you have to respect the coach. There's certain things, that's already set in place. So if he did have something, because I remember, let me just say this, I remember when he had gave a pre-Grammy speech, when he said, "You guys have 365 days to pay us or else." I want to know what he meant by "or else." What do you mean by that? But that's just neither here nor there. But I just always felt that somebody up top was was not pleased with him, and the empire is what we call struck back. The empire struck back. Now, they may have showed him favor because remember, they talked about all these people that was subpoenaed. Now, this is not alleged. This is what we found out in court. So the prosecutor said, well, there's a lot more people I can call, but I cut my list in half. That's not alleged. She did cut the list in half. There's more people she could have called, but she said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm done. Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish this up. So they could have just said, listen, we're going to teach you a lesson a little bit. You're going to have to sit a little bit. So this goes back to what I'm saying again. I'm going to ask you again, Medea, since you brought this up. And Celebrity, you can chime in. Anybody in the comment, please chime in, because I really don't know here. I've already read to you why the judge can go consecutive. I honestly believe, guys, the judge might go consecutive here. Honestly believe it, because he keeps saying that he's a threat to the community. He said he's a danger, and you've already submitted to the domestic violence, and people are writing letters. There's a bodyguard out there that said that he's moved to England now because he's afraid for his life. So he don't move to England. He was on Piers Morgan. Shout out to Big Homie CC, by the way. Um, and then Chef Jordan recently came out and said it might be a fear for her life. Cassie said that through her lawyer. Deontay Nash said it. Guys, he might get consecutive here. They might go
It,
consecutive. Now, I'm not saying he's going to throw the book at him. When I say throw the book, I mean 10 years on each count and running consecutive. I'm not saying that, but he could go 5 on each count and run it consecutive. That's 10 years. So he got 10 months time served, 85%. He's looking at 7.5 years.
mm,
If that's the case, if he decides to go that route. I don't know if he's going to go that route. I'm just reading what I see in black and white here. And like I said, some of the lawyers seem to think that he's looking at 1 to 7. That's what Brian said. I was listening to Brian um, earlier. He said he could go 1 to 7. So what do you guys think again? I mean, because the lawyer, like you said, Medea, we were sitting there. Look, Medea, look, I'm going to tell you how it was in the courtroom. I was in the overflow room, but they had it zoomed in so you could see everything clear in the courtroom. As soon as the judge came in, everybody stood up, sat back down. As soon as the judge started talking, okay, bail denied. Everybody was like, ugh. Like, it was like a letdown, ugh, like that. Like, oh my God. Like, he just said it from the gate. Bail denied. So, guys, he could run consecutive here, man. Very well.
I just want to say also that Chef Jordan did say that she did send a letter in.
Yes, okay. I stand corrected on that.
No,
So
she
she,
said it in her video, like in the video
yeah,
that she did. She
okay.
did send a letter in. I don't know why they didn't make it public. I don't know if maybe, there's too much
He,
detail or too much
well, the judge,
information for the public to know.
well, if she did send it in, the judge received it, but he just cited one. Well, he just cited the law saying it's a mandatory remand, so
And
Hmm.
if
remains in
her
custody.
and if she doesn't have an attorney, like remember Cassie was a witness, so I don't know if she didn't testify. Everything is not going to be added to the docket because even though they think it's going to go to the judge, everything is not going to be entered as evidence, or the judge won't receive it though. They can still write it in, But I mean, that all of us could write something in, so they're not going to just listen to everybody.
Yeah.
Mm.
Interesting though.
And then
Interesting chain of events.
Chopper said that he received a phone call from somebody. He didn't name the somebody, but he said he received a phone call from somebody and he was like, he slipped up. He did slip up. He was like, she, he said she. So it's a female. He was like, she's scared. She's scared out of her, and then when he said she, scared, he said when I got that call, they was scared out of their mind because at the prospect of him getting out. And I was like, "Oh, I
Well,
wonder
let me
who
just
called him."
let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys and everybody in the chat. Do you honestly think he'll have somebody go do something to these people? Because he already being watched. They'll come back to him. What do you all think?
I honestly don't think so. But let me say, I don't know, Medea and Max, do you guys ever remember hearing, like at the beginning of this, like right before they went to trial, that Diddy had tried to sue somebody in the cartel, or he had done something to the cartel or tried to call them out? Did you guys remember hearing that?
No, I haven't heard
Mm-mm.
Okay,
that.
I got to go find it. But they were saying that he thought that he was so powerful that he had the audacity to try to challenge them. It was about something. I don't know if it was liquor or something that they were doing, but I think he really just thought that he was that dude. So if he had to be going up against the cartel, because he has had dealings with them, allegedly, this is all alleged. I mean, I don't think that he would be that silly to do it, but I
No,
wouldn't
I
put it
don't think
past him
so.
though. But
You got to
still, like,
understand,
mhm.
he's a smart guy. So I don't think he is gonna do anything to jeopardize his freedom.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I don't think so. He's too smart.
And the
So
only
Passport Shogun said it was Diageo, but Diageo
yeah,
wasn't a cartel related though, right? No, it was something else.
they're a powerful liquor company
Let me
though.
let me see. Yeah, it was. I got to see this cartel thing. I'm gonna look it up while we talking, you guys.
Yeah, I don't know
Aren't
about the
they actually a
cartel.
multi-billion-dollar company, Max? I looked
Yes.
up Diageo. I looked up the whole situation with Diageo, and what happened in that was he brought charges of them discriminating against him and not really marketing his brand that he was promoting, Ciroc, over other different spirits. So ultimately, they settled, and he retracted his suit.
Okay, you guys. So this is what I found, and this is just quickly off of AI. It says yes, there was a legal situation involving Sean Diddy Combs where he was involved in a lawsuit filed by a self-proclaimed member of the Sinaloa drug cartel.
Hmm.
He sued Alfredo P. Gonzalez, um and the person Colorado who was part of the cartel. I remember hearing that before all this
Wow.
stuff broke out as well. So if he could go up against anything related to the cartel, like seriously, I remember them saying this man is crazy.
Yeah, to be honest with you, okay, well, I forget the guy's name. Runs a YouTube channel. It's a big channel. He said that Diageo could be on the hook to pay him $2 billion, and they saying they were waiting for it after this trial. They said he could be owed $2 billion, but he beat the RICO. He beat it. So I don't know what's going on with that. Um, so there could be some litigation there further. I don't know yet.
Hmm.
So, but he is a smart guy. I don't think he's going to do anything to jeopardize his freedom at this point. I guess he received the message. Put it that way. I
Yeah.
honestly think he received the message, and I honestly believe certain people, they couldn't publicly support him. They had to do it on the low because they were on the hook too. This was a very complicated situation with him, where everybody know they. It was a situation where he could not have a voice. nothing, and people had to watch how they defended him. But the jury spoke. They have spoken at the end of the day. They said this wasn't no RICO, and he did get off of that. But the problem is, will he get consecutive sentences here? That's the issue. Because even if he gave him 5 years apiece consecutive, he got 10 months time served, 85%. He's still looking at 7 years.
What are your thoughts on Ray J though? Is he a supporter or is he just a clout chaser?
You know, his name came up in the trial as a
I think
possible
he's both,
dealer.
Medea. He both. I think he's both.
You said, is he a what or a cloud chaser? What was
A
the other?
supporter or a clout chaser?
He could be, yeah, a little both.
Because after Diddy's sons came, kind of hemmed him up and stuff, he kind of changed his tune a little bit.
He
Yeah.
changed his vibration.
It's like, yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you
Changed his
something real quick.
vibration.
I've seen his sons up close. The one you don't want to mess with is Justin.
You think
Ju-
Justin?
Justin has some size to him. He's short, but he got size to him. And Quincy is tall,
Yeah.
unless he had them platform shoes on. But I don't know. But he's pretty tall. They not no. They not. They'll defend their father if they have to.
But
That's
Christian
just.
is the mean one, though. Christian be mean mugging people.
I think that's just how he is.
He be
Um,
looking mad.
he's actually well mannered. Actually,
And that,
yeah, very well mannered guy. Yeah,
to
very
be
soft
honest,
spoken.
celebrity, I always look like I'm like
Yeah, me too.
angry
I always
all the
look like that
time.
too. But he's a
And it's
Well,
just
very soft
people,
spoken person.
yeah, people be walking up to me like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And they're like, "Oh, cause you just look." And I'm like, "Oh, that's just how I look."
Yeah, he just very business like. You know, he's trying to do some things with the music. He worked with Kanye West. Very soft spoken. You know, that's what I get from him now.
for
Like I
which
said,
one? From King?
yeah, and I've
Okay.
seen them. I've seen them up close. Like,
Well, remember, Max, you was the one, because I was trying to run up on the elevator with them, and Max was like, nah, they was looking at me kind of crazy. So I was like, oh,
no,
it
they
look,
they they weren't. They were laughing because I said something because they had saw me a day prior when I was going to the bathroom.
mm,
And I was like, where the hell is the bathroom at? I got to go. They pointed, this is right there. And I wasn't really paying attention to them. I said, whoo, I got to go. And they laughed or whatever. So they remember me from that probably.
okay. Because I remember we were about to get on the elevator. I was like, come on, Max, let's get on with them. And I did
They
see
heard you
Christian
when you
kind of,
said that.
huh?
They heard you when you said that.
But because why can't we ride with them? But
And
Max was like, fall
I was
back.
looking grumpy and I just walked off to the
Yeah.
side.
Max was like, chill out.
They was like, there he go again. There he go. That's what I heard, like something like that. There he is. And they was smirking like, and I just wasn't feeling it that morning. I don't know what it was. I just wasn't feeling it that morning. And then I saw him again in the break room. And yeah, I had to make a beeline for the bathroom. I couldn't. I'm like, where the hell is this bathroom at? I said, because this is about to be a situation right now. This is right there. And I went running for the bathroom. I know they was like, what in the world? Like, and then when I came out, they standing by the window, they looking and like just looking at me when I got on the elevator. I just gave my head nod and and got back on the elevator. I know they like, this guy is a character. You know, I'm always in the mix, and with the whole oil incident, it would be me to be caught up in the mix. I was like, let me go. I said, this is a viral moment. Let me go ahead and capture this one time here, and you know, that was cool. And
I
until
was
that
too
lady
short to
decided
capture
she
it,
wanted to
Max.
flash us.
I was trying to film it, but everybody was jumping in the flower bed, and I wasn't going to get up there because I had heard that there were some rats in there, right? Because I
Yeah,
remember the ladies were
dead
saying
rats. They
dead
dead though.
rats.
They dead though. Yeah,
What? That's
yeah,
even worse.
carcasses. hmm
Oh Lord! And
You can
and but
smell it. Yeah, you can
some of
smell
them
it.
jumped up in there, and then I was too short to like get over there. But I was like right on the back part. I know you were like in the center of everything, but Yeah, it was a lot. And after they did that, you guys, that's when they start barricading. They start putting up the barricades. Everybody was like, "Uh-oh, they about to lock us in here. They not gonna let us out." And then people started getting paranoid about that. So that was crazy.
Oh yeah, I made a run for I beeline to. I said, wait a minute, we getting boxed in here. So I went ahead and went out of there, and then I saw you got up out of it. Then you said you were going into the courtroom to
Yeah,
see
me and
what's going on with
Chinoa.
the to see what's going on with the bail hearing. So
Yeah.
I recorded some more stuff. Then I decided to go in there, and I'm glad I did because like I said, they had some nice AC up in there. And then look, when I was coming out, you were talking to Quincy. I'm praying for this, and I said, "Damn!" I said, "It's so hot out here. I lost a taste in my mouth." And I think he kind of chuckled. I said, "I know they like here come this dude again. Like every
Yeah.
time we run into him, it's an issue. Like it's something. Like he complaining about something." I said, "Man, I don't lost a taste in my mouth. Where is my phone?" And he was like, "No, we got to go this way." So I was like, "All right, thank you, sir." And he was talking to you, and I was like, "Man, where is my phone?" And I said, I got to get something to drink or something because brother-in-law, I've been bumping my gums all day. And I said, I don't lost the taste in my mouth. I said, it's the Sahara Desert in my mouth. So, and I guess I'm not even trying to be funny, Medea. It was dire circumstances at this point. You know how you start looking ashy. You so
Mm-hmm.
dehydrated. I need to get me some water or something. And
Wait,
then we went to the pizzeria.
I was gonna say, was that the day it was raining too? Or the day before? Because the weather was even crazy, you guys. We got caught in the rain, and it was just a lot.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
So I
It
said,
was.
I'm making a beeline for the pizzeria.
Oh
And so
yeah, we
Larry
went
said,
to
all
the
right,
pizza place. Yeah,
let's roll over there.
yeah.
Now, one thing I
And
do want to question you about, Max,
yeah.
that I saw on your live. I didn't see it in the live actually, but whose Nana were you talking to in that gold outfit with the camel toe? Whose
Oh
Nana
man,
was that?
Oh, that's
yeah.
Diamond, huh?
Her name was Diamond.
Was that Diamond
But
Max?
she cool. She mad
Yeah,
cool.
she is.
Yeah, she mad cool. I'm
I
not sure.
said
No,
she
no, no.
is
I'm not
cool.
sure.
Don't get me no. I
No, I'm
don't
not
mean
sure
no
if that was
harm. It was
her.
just like okay,
No, she
like
had on a one piece. She did, but she had blonde hair.
yes.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, that's Miss Diamond.
I
Yeah,
was like okay.
No, she cool. That's my homegirl right there.
yeah, she's
Yeah,
nice.
Miss Diamond. She has a YouTube page as well.
Oh, she
Yeah,
does.
she covered this case. She knows what
Oh
she talking
snap.
about. But Miss Diamond, she was in the main courtroom.
Oh cool.
Yeah, she been in the main courtroom all this time.
Yeah, Miss Diamond had the tea baby.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
I
Miss
was like,
Diamond. Miss Diamond was up in the courtroom with Puff.
I said, whose sexy Nana is that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the ladies were around Max. Yeah.
he saw the ladies around Mac.
But you
Mm-hmm.
know why I said that though, Max?
Why?
Cause you always say like older women love you.
Oh man.
Max got to fight them off.
No, that's Miss
That ain't
Diamond.
Medea. That ain't Medea. That's not a lie because I did witness it with my own eyes too.
Will you stop?
No,
Will you
I'm
stop,
telling the
celebrity? Y'all
truth.
crazy.
I'm telling it. I'm not gonna name names
Hey,
because then people
listen.
will know. But yeah, Medea. Yep.
Everybody was cool. Everybody was
Yep.
cool. And I
I
had
know.
I had I had conversation for everybody.
And they called Max. Hey Antoine. Hey. They call Max the bodyguard. That's his new
Yeah,
nickname,
I'm the
y'all. The
bodyguard.
bodyguard.
I'm the bodyguard.
Uh huh.
I'm the bodyguard because, and then I know like I said, I don't know how many times I ran into Quincy. I know he like this dude is always complaining like about something. And look, I'm not even worried about him. I think he appreciated that because I'm not even worried about him. I'm saying I need to get me something to drink, and I don't know where. I said, where do we get our phones at? He says over this way. And then Christian was in back of us, and he's looking at me. I know I know he wanted to laugh. He looked like he wanted to laugh. That's what he looked like. He looked like he wanted to laugh. I guess they appreciated that moment because they needed something to laugh about.
Hmm.
And the sisters was in back of Christian. And I said I need to get my phone fast before I sit up here and not be able to swallow. I said I ain't got no taste in my mouth, nothing. I said this is ridiculous. I said this judge literally had us in here all this time because remember when we went into the courtroom, what happened was Medea, he said it was going to be at 1 o'clock. You know, the bail situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then the next thing you know, they told us we had to get out the courtroom because the judge said he'd be back at 5.
No,
I
they
said,
said 2. Remember, then it went to 2 o'clock.
yeah. Then it went to 2 o'clock. Then it went to 5 o'clock.
Yep.
So
Mm.
then we went upstairs. We went upstairs and we saw everybody upstairs, and we saw the lead. What's her name?
The
What's
surprise
B?
witness,
The
BJ.
surprise witness was upstairs. We were chilling, kicking it with her, and then it just got all the way crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't realize they had a funk in the morning. I didn't realize that she was involved in the funk. You know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't
In the
either.
morning, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. So, but everything worked out.
Yeah.
Everything worked out, and but man, wasn't that cool? When I parked on the street, we had that AC.
Oh, yeah. That was the
Oh
day it was
boy,
raining and it was so hot. It was
mm.
smoldering. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Danita's like, I'm staying in the car.
Yeah, Danita said, forget that.
Yeah, she said I'm sitting in the car. I said, all right, well I'll be back because I
You
got to
know
go
what?
see.
I was
Yeah,
with her, but I said, girl, you came this far. You just go get wet up if you have to. Oh, well.
nah, she
So,
wasn't trying to get wet up.
no, I got out with Max because that was the verdict day. Yeah, that was verdict day, right?
That was the partial verdict day.
Partial verdict, yeah.
Yeah, and then the next day was the verdict.
Yeah.
But I said it. I knew there was going to be a verdict before the 4th of July.
You
And
did
I
say that.
didn't the
Yeah,
verdict come through on Wednesday?
you did say that. You said it was going to happen right before the 4th.
Yeah, I
Yes.
said
Yep,
it.
Yep. You're right.
it
Yep.
came on the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did say that. You said they're going to have this done before the 4th. It's going to be you said
Mm-hmm.
a full verdict.
Yeah.
Yep, you did say that. So
The
shout out
The
to
verdict.
only
Medea. You forecast that correctly.
well, the only reason I felt that way was they had already had the jury hemmed up from like just a sense of normalcy, um, freedom to speak to people about the case, freedom to go online, all of that. Like I would have wanted it wrapped up like ASAP. Cuz to be honest, social media is a part of our life.
Right.
Oh,
Max.
Max, hold
Oh, go,
on.
go ahead. Go
Celebrity.
ahead. Hmm.
Do you know who I talked to on IG?
Hmm.
One of the Smex workers.
Really?
Yeah, he cool. He real cool.
Are you going to do an interview?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just like I just talked to him. Max, he shared that the real estate post for me.
Mm-hmm.
He shared it
Yeah.
on his IG for me too.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, like I've been he needs help like learning how to stream. If
Yeah.
if one of y'all if one of y'all want me to make the introduction, because celebrity, I don't really like doing interviews. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't like doing interviews. I just
Wait, he
don't.
need help on what now?
He needs help to learn how to stream. He's trying to
Oh
help.
yeah, he can
Like,
hit us up.
yeah, I'll let him know. I'll actually drop your contacts and
Yeah, we
like,
ain't gotta. I'm not pressed for an interview like that. Just
yeah.
on
I
some
don't I
help.
don't like interviews, but this dude, he goes by Flash.
I know who you talking about.
Yeah, I heard of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you talking about.
Yeah, we talk regularly in the DM, and when he go live, I'm in his live and we chop it up or whatever. He's a cool dude, cool brother.
Yeah, if he need help streaming, we here to help.
Yeah, he wants help streaming because he's trying to figure out. I think he's trying to figure out how to use Streamlabs.
Tell him the StreamYard. I know StreamYard better.
That's what I told him. I was like,
I
why
mean, I
aren't you
do know
doing?
Streamlabs. I know it too. I know Streamlabs.
Yeah, but I asked him why he's not doing StreamYard because it's like a better platform in my opinion.
And he could, like I said, he has a platform already because people know who he is,
Right,
and people
right.
will reach out to him.
Oh,
So,
that's the guy that Armand interviewed.
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
know. I know. I know who you talking about. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Okay,
Armand.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So Max, I remember the day before we got the verdict, the day that we got the verdict. Remember they were saying that he was looking sad. You were right, because you said, because remember they were saying, oh, Diddy was kind of holding his head down. It looked like he had been crying when they said that they had reached a point, but they couldn't come up, and so they had put it off. And you said it's probably a bailiff who told them. Apparently, word on the curb, Media Takeout did an article about it and said that they were bracing for guilty because they kind of knew, and somebody else, another content creator, had been given the information the day before. So people, they were leaking that somebody, I don't know who, and this is all speculation and rumor, but they knew that day before that he had been found guilty on those charges. Somebody did kind of leak it and let them know. And you said that that's what they do.
They may have, but I do know that. Well, that no, this is what I heard. I heard also that he was just really nervous, because he wasn't expecting it, and they said we got a partial verdict, and then the day of the verdict, he was obviously in full prayer when it came in. He was obviously, he was. It was real at that point, and when the verdict came out, it's like his shoulders dropped. It's almost like the weight went off his shoulders,
But
and then
Max,
he dropped to his knees.
one of the content creators actually gave the verdict the day before. They knew it. Somebody leaked it. They found out. It was
Yeah.
exactly what they said.
So that means he could have. I don't think he knew, because when they were reading the verdict, he was like,
Well, no,
he
they
was
knew. They knew
really
those two,
intense.
but no, they knew the two that he had been found guilty of. Not the full verdict because they hadn't gotten it.
Okay.
But they had given them the heads up. Remember, you said that somebody probably gave them a heads up as to what the jury was thinking or what was
Yeah.
going on. Yeah,
Possibly.
apparently they did.
Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible. Yeah. But it was almost like the weight was lifted off his shoulders on that RICO, though, because
Oh
remember,
yeah.
they said they reached a partial verdict. They didn't reach a verdict on a RICO, so he was still nervous. But when he found out he was not guilty on them first two charges, the weight lifted off his shoulders, and that's when he dropped to his knees afterwards.
Yeah.
Because yeah, this a life changing event for him. It got to be.
Of course. And I agree with you. I don't think that he's gonna do anything to anybody. He would be crazy. Move forward, do your time, whatever your time is gonna be. Why even take the risk or the chance to get yourself in some more trouble, you know?
Right. And they said, he's did a lot of work, as far as donating, and he did a lot for Jackson State. He did a lot of charity work. He did. And Sister Soldier told the story, said when she met him at an event, he was at the bar and he said, Soldier. And she said, hey, Diddy. He said, I was looking for you. And she said, you looking for me? He said, I made a lot of money and I need to give it away. And you the person to do it. You're the only person I trust. And she said that he gave so much money and helped so many people go to college, and he don't talk about it. She said
Yeah.
he helped a lot of people. She said a lot of people is upset about this because he really did help a lot of people. And yeah, he got caught up in some stuff. His extracurricular stuff. But I honestly believe if he's really changed, man, he could come out bigger than ever before as far as his charity work. He really can. If he's willing to help, people is willing to receive it, and he could clean his image up. He just got to be willing to do it himself.
Yeah. I
He'll
mean,
come out bigger than ever before,
it's not
for
like he's
sure.
at the budding parts of his career. Like, you have a legacy, you went through this, you could retire, get into some different things, and you know, I don't, it's not over for him. Hopefully, if he gets to 10 years, I mean, that is some time at his age, though.
Yeah, he was like they said he was really surprised to see Sister Soldier, and she said she couldn't believe how he was treating her. Like, cause she worked with him, with the daddy house stuff, the donation. She said she couldn't believe how he treated her. He treated her like royalty, and he was like, "Listen," he said, "I need you to get this money away, and whatever you want to do, let's do it." And which I understand, he made all that money, got to give some away for taxes, but
Right.
that's who he trusted. He trusted her to do it. Um, so I mean, he can. It's up to him. He changes his thing around. He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
Okay, Max, I'm
He's,
gonna drop down.
he's smart enough to do it. He's smart enough to do it. So
I'm gonna drop down, you guys. But thank you for bringing me up. It was a pleasure, Medea. It was nice sharing the panel with you. I'll see you next time. And Max, I'll be in the chat as I'm doing some stuff around the house. I got
well, I'm
some
about
other
to get
kids.
off myself. I think this is
Oh,
a good time to get off. We
okay.
gotta do it again whenever you're ready. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, this was cool. This was fun. We gotta invite some more people too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Invite some more content creators.
Yes. All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Guys, that was Celebrity Scandalous. Celebrity, when you in the chat, can you just put your link in the chat? Medea, put your link in the chat if y'all listening before I get off.
Okay, I'm doing mine now.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'm so silly. I didn't put the link. Let's see.
Yeah, drop your link so we know where to find you. And I enjoyed the conversation, and we definitely will have some more topics of coming. It's not just the Diddy stuff. We're going to talk about some other stuff. That the relationship talk we got to continue. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Yeah, so he was reading a book in there, Antoine, some of the power of thought. So he came through it though. He got through it. He just got a little. He just got to get through that sentencing. He'll be straight. He said, "Dream making a dream taking world." Yeah, he'll be all right. He stay off that. Stay off the drugs. He'll be straight. He off of it now. I tell you that much. He's straight on point. He looked the same, just the gray hair, just pretty much how you think he looked. He looks just like that, but with the gray hair. Yep. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you guys joining, and I will be back at some point. All right, y'all.